This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast contains mature content, explicit language, suggestive situations, and partial to full frontal nudity. Listener discretion is advised. Don't let your kids listen to this.
Is banging your cock ever not dangerous?
Banging your cock? What are you banging it against?
Oh, I see.
Banging your cock, I think, is usually good.
Usually.
Not
for Nick Cage.
No. Instead of Bangkok dangerous, should have called it bingo dangerous. I assume we all have that note at some point, nerd.
Really?
In our dossier. No, you didn't. I thought bingo dangerous would have been easy money on a menage a note.
Just from the spelling?
Yeah.
Or because of something that happens?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
It's an upset.
I guess I'm not as much of a bingo bomber as you.
I assumed Amin would have been in on this. But also, I use bingo in a very versatile way, whereas you guys just really hone in on one way.
You use your bingo thesaurus on your phone?
Yeah, I've got a bingo thesaurus on my phone. I've got an app for it, and it tells me all the different ways I can use bingo.
Does that get a little boring when you just look up all the synonyms for bingo and it says bingo about 49 times?
It does. I'm glad Amin has gotten kicked off this call, by the way.
I'm glad Amin can't.
Feel free to jump in at any time, Amin, to join the podcast.
Just you and me, you know.
Good Lord.
Just talking about all the uses of bingo.
It's the future of the show anyway. This bingo ever figures it out.
No, I did not have bingo dangerous. Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm shocked.
A solo job for Zach.
Yeah. Last job.
Last solo job for me.
I have Bangkok monotonous. You might know.
What about Bangkok narrationer is this?
Bangkok exposition.
Are we just doing narration year? Is that all we're doing right now?
Yo.
Man, there's been so much.
Yo, I got some notes.
Can we get some dialogue up in one of these movies?
Well, Zach, some dialogue would require two people talking to each other, which this movie really did not have a lot of interest in.
It doesn't.
To be fair, the love interest does not talk, so that kind of limits some of the
Spoiler alert! Jesus.
Spoiler alert, but also I'm glad you brought it up, because how is that ever going to work? You can't communicate.
Especially when you don't speak the same language. It'd be one thing like, I'll write it down on a piece of paper, which, by the way, future callback to that. Like, I'm calling bullshit. I'm like, there's a lot. There's a lot to this. Zach, you're under the weather?
Dude,
What's happening?
I just have something going on with me right now where my insides are like, they seriously feel like they're being compressed at all times.
I was talking to Zach, and I was like, yo, what's wrong? And then he sends me a picture, and he says, do you recognize this person? Like, it was just out of the blue, just a random woman. He's like, do you recognize this person? I said, should I? He says, yes, absolutely. And I said, I don't know.
I mean, she's a legend, right?
I said, Christina Applegate on a bad day? Like, I didn't know. And he was like, no, it's Jenna Jameson. And I said, is this why you're not feeling well?
It's just shocking. She was in an accident, I guess. I don't know. She's just been in a wheelchair lately. But this was the first time I saw her since I started following our Instagram. I was like, I wonder what's going on in Jenna Jameson's world.
Why do you follow Jenna Jameson on Instagram?
I was curious.
What are you curious of? Like what she's up to?
Yeah, what she's up to. I follow our friend Lisa Ann. She's got all kinds of stuff.
Did you hit Jenna Jameson for the first time, long time?
I'm not sliding into her DMs. I'm just genuinely curious about her as a person. Sorry for being inquisitive. I guess I didn't ask her anything, so I'm not that inquisitive. I guess I'm just kind of a lurker.
Yeah, an inquisitive podcaster.
Yeah, man, I'm in rough shape. It has been a bad 4 days here.
Can you give us some symptoms, or is this like too much? Is it too much info?
I'm telling you, it feels like my organs on the left side of my body, left side of my torso, are being squeezed 24 hours a day. It's been nothing but pain since Sunday morning. Constant pain, not like coming in waves, like it's constant.
How would you compare your current state to your Snyder back-to-back back injury session?
Oh, this is so much worse.
I'm going to tell you how I know it's worse, Maze. He called out of work today.
I did. I couldn't do it.
That's next level.
I literally gave up money. I couldn't do it.
But you hear that, folks? He showed up to Cinephobe.
Here's the thing. I had 3 podcasts, a radio hit, and some meeting, and I canceled everything except one of the podcasts and this.
Dedication, folks.
Yeah, he's a fighter. He's got the eye of a tiger. See, it's a happy song. Good news, it's a happy song.
Your picks have been horrible, man.
It's the point. It's the point of the show.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? It's possible. I don't understand what this podcast is about.
Poppycock. It's a fuck house.
On a weekly basis, we are consuming more concentrated bad movies than probably anybody in the history of mankind.
Poppycock.
What story? What story? What are you talking about?
Do you want lunch?
I have yet to laugh in this movie. I'll just tell you that.
You picked it, motherfucker. So just remember that.
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
I was legitimately offended.
You were offended?
I was offended.
I didn't know you could get offended.
I was offended.
This did it.
If I were gay, I wouldn't be offended.
They're fucking making shit up, I mean.
Inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail.
Bees don't lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm holding a mic in my hands, and now I'm talking all alone.
Welcome to Cinephobe, the podcast. We break down the movies you're afraid to admit you love. I'm Zach Harper. That's Amin and Mayes. That's Anthony Mayes. Cinephobe, part of the Levitard and Friends network. About that, catch us on all the feeds. Well, not all the feeds. There's our feed in the Levitard and Friends network feed. Make sure you subscribe to all those. Make sure you subscribe to all of the Levitard and Friends podcasts.
Download it twice.
Yeah, download it twiise.
Yeah, get that going. Let's start that.
We got Mystery Crate, Montgomery and Company, Basketball Illuminati, Stupidity.
Point forward.
Point Forward, right? With NBA stars Andre Iguodala and Evan Turner.
Cinephile.
Number 1 show on the network outside of the Levitard properties.
Cinephobe, by the way, joining LAF. How do you feel about that?
I wanted to say that's big news, right? I mean, listen, Amin is a great guy. I've been on his podcast. He's been on our podcast, of course, talking about Teen
Yeah,
Wolf,
let's be friends with Phobe, right? Let's be friends with Phobe.
There's no reason to have any animosity. I don't know why people want to make it a rivalry, because it's never been a rivalry from our end.
It's
right?
the Cine. You guys both have a podcast that starts with Cine.
I get it. It's because of the Cine, it feels like a rivalry. But Cinephobe is now aboard. But listen, they've got some work to do, because you tell me the numbers. I mean, aside from any podcast with Levitard's name in it, right now for Metal Arc, we're number 1, right? Like, we're crushing it.
May is coming. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be May.
You should have said May is on the way, because May's coming is tough. If you review this podcast, you will prevent it from ending at the end of the season. End of this year. End of 2022. If we don't have 5,000 reviews on Apple Podcasts, if we don't have 5,000 reviews on Spotify, podcast is over. You may be new to this because now it's on Levitard and Friends Network. I have been threatening this for a while, and contractually, can I still threaten it? I don't know.
And if you know anything about Zach, you know that he's an honest podcaster and he would never lie.
I would never lie. I'm also an honest cowerer if need be.
What?
What does that mean?
If Meadowlark is like, you're not canceling this podcast, I will cower, but I will also threaten before I cower.
Bill Cower.
Bill Cower, exactly. If you have a submission, submit it. Just a reminder, it needs to be 40% or lower on the Rotten Tomatoes audience or critic score. Back in the cage for the month of April with Nick Cage Month 2.0. I had the first pick and gave us the apocalyptic Left Behind. Mays went next with the film noir Deadfall. Now it's Amin's turn, and he's gone with the 2008 action crime thriller, Bangkok Dangerous.
Yeah, I had action thriller. Once again, crime left out for some reason.
There's a lot of crime. I mean, Hitman, that's one of the biggest crimes.
There's crime, action.
Yeah, there's some action.
Thriller?
Well, all right, thriller.
I think thriller is the one that isn't really doing it for me. I wasn't very thrilled.
I think it's seasoned. It's spiced like Nick Cage would probably spice his food.
Whoa. I don't think you've seen who Nick Cage has been married to before, okay? I don't agree with that accusation.
I haven't. I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, there's like 6 to choose from, so... Mayes brought up the question before you got on the pod, is it ever not dangerous to bang your cock?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, sometimes it's the goal.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the point, isn't it?
May's coming.
It's possible. I don't know what this cock is about.
All right, Bangkok Dangerous stars Nicolas Cage, which gives him a fortnight of Cinephobe appearances.
2 weeks notice.
This is his 14th, with previous episodes of Next, Knowing, Wicker Man, Primal, Ghost Rider, Mom and Dad, Jiu-Jitsu, Snake Eyes, Kiss of Death, Gone in 60 Seconds, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, Left Behind, and Deadfall. In 2007, Cage had Ghost Rider and Grindhouse. Then this movie in 2008, followed by Knowing, G-Force, Bad Lieutenant Port of Call New Orleans, and Astro Boy in 2009.
Yeah, this goes right in the run of the movies we've already done. And there's a repeat offender beyond just Nick Cage, which is the same haircut he had in Next.
So Next was
2007. Ghost Rider Next.
Yeah.
National Treasure Book of Secrets, Bangkok Dangerous, Knowing.
Good for him. Keeping this wig on the whole time.
It's certainly an era.
Who does his wig work?
Now, do you think he has his own?
Travolta style, like his own private collection?
Like Travolta, yeah. You know how some celebrities have like a shoe room? You think he just has wigs?
I don't know. He's really kind of into the craft, isn't he?
Kind of into the craft? Are you kidding me? Are you kind of into scouting?
Are you kind of into misogyny?
Yeah.
You dabble?
Am I kind of into honesty?
Oh, it's funny. There's a character in this movie. I'm about to turn everybody's head, by the way. Oh my God, I can't wait till we get to the review portion.
Not a lot for a cast here. So this movie also stars Shakrid Yamnarn from February and O Negative, Charlie Young from Fallen Angels, and Future Cops.
Cops. Oh, the future cops.
Cops in the Machine. Panward Hemeni from Love Flower by the Edge of the Road. Dom Hetracool from Bangkok Adrenaline and Bangkok Revenge and The Marine 2.
Ah, yes, the Bangkok trilogy.
Yeah.
James With from Independence Day and Rambo.
With who?
His last name's just With, like Jeff Withy without the Y or the E.
Withy without you.
And then I counted in this very small cast, we have 31 actors whose only acting role in their IMDb career is this movie. I really think they just went to Thailand and just grabbed random people and said, here, need you to do this.
I mean, it's interesting because of who directed it.
Right. Exactly.
The Pang Brothers.
Let's get into that. Yeah, this movie was directed by the Pang Brothers.
Pang Bros.
Pang Bus.
I'm mad I didn't think of that one.
They directed the original Bangkok Dangerous in 2000, Nothing to Lose, not that one, The Eye, The Eye 2, The Eye 3, The Child's Eye, and Fairy Tale Killers.
That's a good fourth movie.
Easy, Maze.
Also, Danny Pang edited Infernal Affairs, which is a movie that inspired The Departed.
Also, Jason Richman gets a writing credit for screenplay here. He wrote Bad Company, Swing Vote, and created the series Stumptown.
To follow up Swing Vote with Bangkok Dangerous. That's range, folks. That's how you get a TV job.
Swing Vote's the last movie Greg Cody saw in the theaters, right? Is that, or is it the last movie he saw, period?
Oh, no, because he saw Don't Look Up. He went to the premiere.
Oh, okay. So it's the second to last movie he's seen.
Yes.
And that's it for the cast and crew.
Yeah.
It is really, really sparse here.
Wow, I wonder if anybody's going to beat out Nick Cage for Ass Off.
Oh, well, there are a couple of decent candidates here. Synopsis for Bangkok Dangerous. A hitman who's in Bangkok to pull off a series of jobs violates his personal code when he falls for a local woman and bonds with his errand boy.
His loyalty man.
I would say it was the opposite.
Film noir!
You think he fell for the errand boy and
yes,
bonded with a local woman?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
She's a pharmacist in this movie, and the entire time I saw her as a pharmacist, I just thought of the And One Street Baller the pharmacist, that fat kid who was like a point guard. Do you remember him? And I just kept hearing Duke Tango yelling, "The pharmacist!" Tagline for Bangkok Dangerous: the hitman has become the target.
Wait a sec. The hitman didn't become the target until the very end of the movie.
But he still becomes the target. There are two more. There's only one way out. And then last one, it's all in the execution.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That one's pretty good.
What did you see, Amin?
Man, bullet, shot, Nicolas Cage, Bangkok Dangerous.
I mean, I got one man, one bullet, one shot.
Oh, there it is.
That makes way more sense.
Sorry, it was truncated.
$45 million estimated budget, grossed $15.2 million US, but $42.4 million worldwide.
Great job picking such a hit movie, I mean.
Well, compared to what we picked.
I want to throw this out there without consulting the spreadsheet. Do you guys know what the biggest budget movie we've ever done on Cinephobe is?
Batman vs. Superman.
I should have said Zach first because I know Mayes looks at the sheet all the time.
But Mayes just had to jump in there.
He did.
And actually everything.
I was surprised that one of the bigger budget ones was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, by the way.
All that CGI, all those axes, are you kidding me? All right, before we jump into this movie and before you listen to the rest of this podcast, Bangkok Dangerous is available through Tubi or something called Philo. You'll notice it's not called Phobo.
Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. I got through Tubi, I was getting the weirdest commercials.
Yo, same note too, bro.
There's this Bruce Buffer Blue Chew commercial that I was dying.
Oh, wow. The one I got was something about how Congress wants to pass a law that's going to prevent Amazon from doing 2-day deliveries via Prime.
I got that too. I got the same ad too, bro.
The slogan at the end is like, tell Congress, don't take my Prime.
Bangkok Dangerous receives 9% from the critics on 94 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 26% from the audience on over 100,000 ratings.
Jesus.
Amin, would you like the positive or the negative reviews?
Glass half full kind of guys that give me the positive.
Hey, John, that's weird. That glass looks half full to me.
Wow. Now that you mention it, it is half full.
John Wirt of The Advocate, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Word.
Not to be a contrarian, but as predictable as the movie is, its events often feel as if there were no alternative. The Pang brothers, besides being artisans of action and suspense, tell a good story. Or maybe I'm simply suffering from heat and hurricane.
Oh my God. Did this guy review it like in the middle of Katrina?
When was Katrina? No, wasn't Katrina?
2005.
Yeah, this is too late for that. But there were other hurricanes, I'm sure.
Okay, let's see what the hurricane of du jour was. 2008 Hurricane Louisiana. 2000.
Leave all this in.
Good stuff.
How could I prep for this? I didn't know this was coming. Hurricane Gustav.
Yep, that's the
I
one.
don't remember that one.
That's the one.
Gustavo Ione.
I own my car and my house.
Eddie House.
I don't own my car, by the way. I don't know why I said that.
You don't own your house either, do you?
I do.
Well, you paying that off. It's not paid off yet.
I guess I don't own my house.
I don't own shit.
I own my mortgage.
All right. Stephen Farber of Hollywood Reporter.
Phineas and Farber.
Farber's Market.
Oh, that was better.
Despite a few sentimental flourishes, this programmer delivers for action fans.
What does that mean?
Rob Gonzalez of efilmcritic.com.
If you got a problem, Rob Gonzalez.
Been there, seen that, but it's not the notes. It's how Cage plays them. Is that for yourself?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was actually original and not bad.
Thank you.
Prairie Miller of Newsblaze.
Little House on the Prairie.
A toxic blend of hitman midlife crisis, homicidal existential angst, and a little surprise sex tourism on the side. This arty assassin fare is held together by sheer force of personality, Grim Reaper Guru Cage, no matter how cranky the guy can be.
It depends on how you define toxic. In Toxic Blend.
Not that much sexual tourism.
A little bit.
Does he have sex once?
No.
No, but I have some serious issues with the Pang brothers on this one.
Pang Bros?
Same notes too. Betty Jo Tucker of Real Talk Movie Reviews.
BJT.
Predictable as a snowstorm in December, but visually exciting. Plus, Charlie Young fills the screen with charm and grace.
Predictable as a snowstorm in September.
David Darcy of Screen International.
Mr. Darcy.
Marcy Darcy.
This version of Bangkok Dangerous is a respectable genre movie, but not much more.
Darcy Projects.
James Christopher of Times UK.
Oh, that's a fake name. Actually, no, he's from the UK. It's not a fake name. Do the accent.
The Pang brothers take full advantage of that Hollywood budget. The pint. This is actually really hurting my insides.
Yeah,
Trying
but
to
a stroke.
muster this up. My liver is fucking exploding. Bangkok skyscrapers in shimmering midnight blues.
Sound like Michael Caine in the middle of an epileptic fit.
That's how I felt. User Tim B, 5 out of 5 stars.
Tim B. I'm going. Tim B, you better run. You better woo.
You better move, you better dance.
Oh, is that what she says?
This movie was so fun. Nick Cage only yelled one time. In this movie, Nick Cage was Batman, but killed people. Nick Cage is the hero we deserved, but not the hero we needed.
Same note too on he only yelled once because I was like, he's whispering this whole time. But then also, this is a very of the moment review, right?
Right.
The Dark Knight had just come out, and my man was like, I know, I'll make references.
I got Batman on the brain.
Yeah.
User Cigar, 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Cigaro.
This remake is one of the best Nicolas Cage films shot in Bangkok that I've seen.
There it is.
The only issues are due to continuity of the storyline, which seems to be patching things together in a wild and unpredictable way, which makes sense. It's a little hard to follow compared to the original.
This is one of the best intergalactic duck movies ever made.
Have either of you ever watched the original Bangkok Dangerous?
User Ahmed H, 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Let me know when you get to I.
Don't remember why I like it.
That's a good way to do it.
User Keenan S, 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Keenan Ivory Wayans. Keenan Ivory Sayans?
I should hate this film. I really should. It's a remake of an Asian film.
Oh my God, my kid brother's been shot. I think it was an Asian gang or something. I saw someone, he looked Asian, and he was speaking another language. I'm pretty sure it was Asian.
It stars Nicolas Cage with long hair and giving a really bad performance. Crappy acting, cheesy action scenes, utterly ridiculous scenes of drama and bonding, and an endless tsunami of hitman film cliches that would normally make me trash the shit out of this kind of film. But as crappy and ineptly made as Bangkok Dangerous is, I had a whole lot of fun watching this slice of crappy entertainment in ways that I shouldn't have. What the fuck is wrong with me as of late, giving so many terrible films positive reviews? Oh well, let's get on with it then. Final positive review, user Claire T, 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Clarity.
It was an okay movie, but I expected better. I don't want to see it again. I didn't like this movie. It starred Nicolas Cage and Charlie Young. I don't want to see this movie again. Expected better.
Well, this is a positive review.
3.5 out of 5.
Well, guess so.
Negative reviews.
Stop being a pessimist. This tank is not half full. It's half empty.
Jeffrey Lyles of Lyles Movie Files.
Don't you dare Lyles to me.
A promising film about a hitman that ultimately gets whacked because its star isn't suited for the role at all.
Wow. Going right at Nick Cage. Bold.
Ali Gray of theshiznit.co.uk.
Ali G. In it. Booyakasha.
At 6 foot plus, with his hair plug mullet and his ice white teeth, Cage sticks out like a sore thumb among the tiny Thai citizens, making for the most conspicuous hitman since Agent 47 rocked the bald head and barcode combination.
Never seen Agent 47.
That's the video game Hitman, right?
Oh.
And then they made a movie out of it?
Did they?
Didn't they?
Welcome to Cinephobe.
William Goss of Cinematical.
I guess we have had that conversation. Oh.
I hate that voice, let me tell you. Between all the dates and dinners, Bangkok almost ends up being as less thriller and more travelogue. By the hour mark, there are literally more gulps than gunshots.
Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes, sir.
Thomas Pazer of Style Weekly, Richmond, Virginia. A perfect, uninvolving tale of errors acknowledged and manhood proved.
You know, when,
oh boy.
This is really bad.
I can already tell. When you start trying to gather yourself for this, it doesn't usually end well.
When old girl goes over there to Thomas's house, you know, when he's done, Thomas Pazer.
Maze, what do we
Just move on?
We just let that dead fish flop?
Just move on.
Okay, we'll just move on.
Okay, what I wanted to say was when your mom goes to Thomas Pazer. But I was like, now that your parents follow me on Instagram, like I can't really do that joke anymore.
My mom listens to the pod.
Yeah, see, it doesn't quite. You've stolen my thunder, Harper, Mr. and Mrs. Harper.
Yeah, now he can't make sex jokes about you anymore, Mom. Austin Kennedy of Sin Magazine. It's garbage. Cage better be careful. If he keeps this up, he'll wind up just like Val Kilmer, doing straight to DVD junk.
Wow.
Oh, what a time.
That's literally what happened.
Yeah.
And then he rose from the ashes like a phoenix.
Garth Franklin of Dark Horizons.
Garth Franklin? I want to say do the voice.
Chris Gaines.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what voice that would be.
Garth Franklin?
I'm thinking Garth Brooks, but also Kirk Franklin. So if you can give me Garth Brooks doing gospel, I think that's Garth Franklin.
Okay. Can I give you either of those?
It's going to be Lewis Pinnock. We finally figured out what Travolta was doing, guys.
I got Garth Franklin.
He's doing a gospel Garth Brooks.
I need complete silence as I get into character, please. Nude and pretty and lacking any real development. This is the cinematic equivalent of a eunuch whose voice unfortunately broke pre-castration.
Wow.
Yo, you know what it's actually sounded like? It sounded like Pastor Barnes.
All right. Jackie K. Cooper of JackieKCooper.com.
JK.
Ominous maybe, but never dangerous.
Bangkok ominous.
Tim Braden of Antagony and Ecstasy.
Braiding my hair.
Would that the film were a tenth as deliciously bad as its title.
Oh, fuck this guy. No, don't read the rest.
Would that the film were a tenth as delicious as its title.
David Hiltbrand of Philadelphia Inquirer. Bangkok Ridiculous is more like it.
Oh. Is that better than Bangkok Monotonous?
No, I think yours is still the best.
Yeah, I think Monotonous is better.
Thank you.
Nathan Rabin of AV Club. It's never close to good, and it can't even get bad right.
Nathan for you.
Sean McBride of Sean the Movie Guy.
Pride.
You know that your movie has major problems when a bad wig is the most memorable part of the film.
Major problems.
Major bingo.
Kevin McCarthy of WJFK FM, CBS Radio.
Wait a second. McCarthy, JFK? Does he work at Capitol Hill?
Red Notice. Instead of killing people, Nicolas Cage's character should have been more worried about getting a haircut.
Wow, a lot of hair puns here. Huh? Okay.
Repeat offender Kurt Loder of MTV.
Oh, the legend.
What Cage, such a fine actor when the mood's upon him, is doing, wasting his time in listless junk like this, is anybody's guess.
Oh,
Kurt. It was going to get so much worse. And then 3 more quick ones. Brian Orndorff of BrianOrndorff.com.
Oh, this asshole.
It turns out Bangkok isn't very dangerous. It's glacial, abysmally photographed, dreadfully acted, faintly plotted, and frequently observed. But dangerous? Not really.
I like how it's photographed.
I thought it looked cool.
Bangkok glacial?
Bangkok racist.
Jordan Mincer of Variety.
Oh, I bet he won't mince words.
Heavy on the spice and cheap on the meat. Bangkok Dangerous adds plenty of Thai seasoning to the Hollywood lone assassin recipe. But the result is only mildly pungent.
Bangkok prejudice.
And then our only user review for the negative side of this, because I didn't think anything was going to beat this. User John R. 1 out of 5. Cage as a hitman is like Clint Eastwood as a gay man. Doesn't fit one bit.
A gayman.
Gayman Islands.
Doesn't fit one bit. Tension.
Amin. What is your first note?
All right, so I opened Tubi. I downloaded Tubi. I opened Tubi. Before I could even enter a search term, the first suggestion to me was Bad Girls Club.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not mad at you, Tubi.
Yeah.
As a blind guess.
My first note is Prague at night, Prague dangerous. And then voiceover month.
We open up in Prague with some very dramatic string work, and Nick Cage is in a restaurant, and we start off with some Cage narration. My job takes me to a lot of places. It's got its downsides. I sleep alone.
Alone.
Underlined.
Holy shit, that wig. Golden dumpster. Lock it in. And then I was confused because the restaurant had a pool table, but I thought it was a diner.
It's Prague, man. Shit's crazy over there.
Yeah, man. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Check myself before I wreck myself?
I wrote, this whole narration is about my life to the letter.
What?
My job takes me to a lot of places. It does. It's got its downsides. It does. I sleep alone. I do. I eat alone. Most of the time I do. I'm used to it, though. I am. I'd like to meet someone. I would. But it's tough when you live out of a suitcase. I do, and it is. I go where I'm told. I do. I do what I'm told. Maybe not so much. I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't. The work is steady. It is. The money is good. It is. But it's not for everyone. It's not. And then he says, my name is Jeff.
How many movies have we done that start with narration instead of the goddamn movie?
Yo, a lot recently.
If we could, maybe we throw this to the listeners. I'd like to know how many movies just start off with narration instead of anything else.
Well, it'll take them 130 years to figure that one.
Get to working.
No, it's just the first scene.
Yeah, you just fire up the first scene. First word said. Is it narration or not?
If the first word is narration, we might have to start tracking that.
I think we should. It's a lot. Like, it's all the Ben Affleck movies.
Deadfall started with narration. The Watcher started with narration. The Master of Disguise started with narration. Belly didn't start with narration, but definitely had a lot of narration in it. And that's as far back as I can remember.
Okay, so almost a useless exercise
You
there.
used to be a gangster. That's how the narration starts in Goodfellas.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Cut to police convoy in Prague. They're transporting a prisoner in the night. Cage is putting together a sniper rifle. I've always loved the way it looks in a movie where someone's putting a gun together.
Really? The assembly? You like the assembly?
I love it every time I see it in a movie because my thought is, oh shit, something's going to go down here. I also love a sniper movie that's not Shooter. Or not American Sniper. Yeah, I hate that movie too. But anytime there's like some kind of action movie and there's a sniper involved, I just think that's cool.
Question. Cage with this hair and this look. Does he look like Thomas Middleditch, right?
What?
Is that the guy that plays Loki?
Thomas Middledick?
Tom Hiddleston. Thomas Middleditch is the star of Silicon Valley.
Same shit. There's an Iddle in there. Tom Iddle.
They're both Tom?
Tom Riddle is Voldemort's real name in Harry Potter.
There you go.
Tom Haverstraw. Basketball Illuminati. Basketball Illuminati. Basketball Illuminati.
Say it 3 times. Keep your third eye open.
Prisoner is in the building being walked through. The gun is locked and loaded. The interrogation room has massive windows.
Yeah.
Super easy to look into.
The architect should be fired for that.
No, the realtor really like pushed it. Like, you guys are going to have these floor to ceiling windows. Great natural light coming in.
It'll make your prisoner feel right at home.
Cage is standing there watching people argue with those iPhone wired earbuds in. And I thought at the time, people must have been like, oh shit, he's got the new iPhone. Because the iPhone came out a year earlier?
Yeah, 2008. I don't even know if the earbuds were out by then.
Yeah, maybe not. Here's the thing. It looked new to me now, even though that's 14 years later and we've got way better Apple earbuds. I was like, oh shit, he's got the new stuff.
Get off his dick already, Zach. We get it. You like Nick Cage.
Are they new or is it just they had iPods before they had the iPhone?
That's true. Yeah.
I wanted to know, is he listening to music or is he listening to like a microphone that we don't see? I'm not sure.
Probably listen to Cinephobe.
Wherever you get podcasts.
Cage is standing there. Why did he dramatically duck and swoop out of the way to put the gun up? No one's looking at him.
We call acting your ass off.
Puts the gun in position, looks through the scope, does the adjustment thing. And as they're interrogating the criminal and showing him pics of bad guys, Cage puts one in his dome as his watch alarm beeps.
At exactly 2100 hours, the church bell rings above his head. We get a close-up of the watch.
Guard in the room. Ass off.
I agree.
It's super clever that he did it when the bell rung.
Yeah, no one would hear a gunshot.
When the bell tolls.
Tolstoy.
More voiceover. My name's Joe. What are the odds, folks? Back-to-back Joe voiceover movies.
My name is Jeff.
This is what I do.
Blood spills onto the table and the photos. Now we've either got Nick Cage as a chemist or as a guy who cooks heroin. I wasn't sure yet.
Same note, too. I had science first and then drugs second.
Yeah, Beaker month back.
And then I switched it back to drugs first, then science.
His hair is out of control.
Got gloves. He's lighting a needle and a spoon.
I was so distracted by his hair throughout this entire movie.
Me too. At this point, I'm still trying to ignore it and trying to like just focus on the movie.
Guy knocks on the door, shows up. Cage lets him in. Cage is wearing white latex gloves. He sits down, says the guy's late.
Then the guy calls him Mr. London Z.
I'm sorry, is his name London Z?
He's got the Emil Kovacs accent, Mr. London Z.
Crew was sick off bridge.
I actually asked if this is young Frank Dukes all grown up.
Oh, no.
Old young Frank Dukes. When he said, "You're leaving," it made me think of, what kind of a deal? I can help with the bags.
He hands Cage a briefcase with money in it. Cage says, I need the phone. He hands Cage the phone. He puts it in the briefcase. Cage will handle his own bags. Guy says, if you ever come back, you can use the money. Shakes his hand and says goodbye. Then he tases the shit out of him.
Little excessive on the tasing here.
Ass off for old young Frank Dukes, though, as he gets tased.
Oh, he was great.
Follow it up by injecting his track-marked arm. So it is drugs.
Have we been doing heroin month this whole time?
Yeah, it's another heroin movie.
Druggy McHeroin boobs.
What's it like to shoot up a bunch of heroin?
Cage narrates some more.
I was taught 4 rules. 1. Don't ask questions. There is no such thing as right and wrong. 2. Don't take an interest in people outside of work. There is no such thing as trust. 3. Erase every trace. Come anonymous and leave nothing behind. 4. Know when to get out. Just thinking about it means it's time before you lose your edge. before you become a target.
This reminded me of Money Plane, right? Where they run through the rules of stealing shit.
My God.
And now we've got a kid screaming at the airport, plane landing B-roll, even more voiceover.
More narration.
So you look for the right opportunity. Nothing too risky. Get the money and disappear forever. This is it. 4 hits. 1 location. 1 last job.
Oh, I love One Last Job, man.
Nothing like a last job.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
What the hell is going on with his hair? And also, whose little bastard is this just crying in the middle of an airport?
I thought, oh my God, he's going to kill this kid.
Me too. I thought that was the target.
I was like, oh, he's a cold-blooded killer.
That's the last job.
Cage is at customs in Bangkok being asked for the purpose of his visit. Holiday. They stamp him. Title card and more fucking narration.
Techno music, voiceover.
Bangkok, it's corrupt, dirty, and dense.
Bangkok's position.
Lots of Bangkok B-roll, which shall henceforth be known as Bangkok roll.
We're seeing night markets.
I think I ordered that at a sushi restaurant the other day.
Cage is stuck in traffic. All my clients had one thing in common. They feed off the people. Big money and misery.
And he looks super confused by the traffic. Just
He
like
does.
staring everywhere as everyone moves at hyper speed. You know, it's kind of sped up and with the flashes and stuff. Oh, yeah, good times.
Where there's money, there's competition. And the guy paying me usually wins. Usually.
Mr. Blonde reports to his boss. The Russians swear by Cage. He's reliable. How do you swear by a man you've never met?
We don't know him. He doesn't know us. It's better for us that way. Why? What kind of logic is that?
Because it's clean. They can't tie them to each other. They get caught.
You'll love what I call Mr. Blonde halfway through the movie.
Cage pulls up to a home and decides it's time for more narration.
It always starts the same way, just like I was taught. Secure a safe location somewhere off the beaten path where you have privacy, but you stay invisible too long, the human race starts to look like another species. So you venture out, you observe, you watch. You find people alone, and then you return to your invisible world like a ghost.
The Watcher with notes. Cut to the Bangkok nightlife. Cage is wearing a button-up shirt that I can only describe as what I imagine gamers receive for targeted ads on Instagram.
That's really specific. We got white dudes flirting with girls, getting scammed by a watch hustler.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you? First time in Bangkok? Yeah. Rolex. Good Rolex. You want? Yeah. Look good. Rolex.
Watch out, Larry. How much you want to bet it's counterfeit?
2,000. Look good.
No thanks.
No Rolex. Never mind. You want girls? I can get you girls. No girls. How about boys? You like boys? No. You don't like boys, though? Hey, how about you, huh? How boy? 5,000 baht, new car, smell satisfaction, money back, super rubber pussy guarantee, yeah? Whatever happens in Bangkok, stays in Bangkok.
I love the money back pussy guarantee. That's definitely good.
He's pickpocketing them.
Cage is taking pictures with his camera. Maze, what type of exposure film should he be using?
Same question too, Amin, for that Bangkok nightlife?
It's a low light situation. You're going to need a high ISO. Those pictures aren't coming out too great, but luckily he's mostly just using them to spy on people.
For sure.
But we will get into some of the optical zoom later on in this episode. Don't worry.
Would love to. Thank God. I believe you.
More voiceover. Want to find garbage? Go to a garbage dump. I look for 3 qualifications. They have to speak a little English. They have to want to make money. And above all, they have to be disposable.
Suck dick. I mean, disposable.
Is he talking about prostitutes?
Same note too, bro.
I didn't know what he was talking about at this point.
He's talking about the heroin addict that he just killed 5 minutes ago in Prague.
Cage goes up to the hustler, asks him if he wants to make some money while he's eating. He needs help with work in town. What work? Pick things up, drop things off, maybe some translation, about a month's work, 2,000 a day.
Pickpocket calls him a liar. Cage walks away. Pickpocket just starts throwing out crazy numbers.
I'll take this one, but I won't pay a cent over $60.
Sir, that casket costs $1,000.
Okay, $70.
What?
$2,000.
That's twice what it costs.
$40.
What?
He doesn't know how to haggle.
5,000, 2,500, 4,000, 2,952 and 50 cents.
50,000.
No.
Oh, come on. 600. You should not run a Pinkberry. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just the weirdest negotiating style.
We don't have any money.
You know, we're here because we have $0.
That's true.
We're broke.
We'll round up 3,000 miles to Graceland.
Get paid at the end of the week. Guy says no deal. Half now, half at the end of the week. Cage asks his name. It's Kong.
Kong?
King Kong.
Flashes cash. Says you can keep that in your wallet that you stole. Be somewhere tomorrow at 7 p.m. Come alone or don't get paid.
Tension?
Definite tension.
Next day, Kong shows up alone.
Cage is peering through the blinds like James Coburn and Cuck O'Leary.
Cage's hair is absurd. I cannot pay attention to anything else. It's so jet black.
Large swaths of this movie have gone unwatched by me because I've just been staring at his hair and wondering.
I can't help it. Cage hands him a phone, tells him to keep it with him at all times. Says, I have good phone.
Now you have two.
You answer whenever that rings.
If you don't answer, you don't get paid. Then he gives him a watch. Time is very important.
Kong is very ass off, looking around the house, and he gives the little slight impressed look, like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely doing that. He's got the sunglasses on. Cage tells him to take the sunglasses off. Cage starts going through all these things that if he doesn't do this, he doesn't get paid. If he doesn't call back, he doesn't get paid. If he's not there on time, he doesn't get paid. And I'm just like, man, fuck you, man.
But that's good money.
Well, actually, I did the math. 3,000 baht is basically like $90.
Okay, but how much do you think he was making pickpocketing tourists every day?
Shit.
That's steady money. 90 a day.
It's like when Michael Scott goes to dinner with the guy he thinks is in the mafia.
I'll have the linguine, red sauce on the side. If the sauce does not come on the side, I will send it back. I want garlic bread, toasted, not burnt. If it comes burnt, I will send it back.
Okay, then.
Caribbean Club, dancer named Ohm.
High class ass.
Give her money with the red X facing up. She'll give him a package. Don't open it. It doesn't concern him. Bring it back. Don't stop for anything. And Kong calls him a duck fucker. That's a duck fucker, man.
Yep. Same note, too.
Yeah, so what if I have to piss? You ask me one more question, and I won't get paid, I know.
And then he says, if it's so important, why don't you pick it up? And I said, Jesus, Kong, stop fucking up the money.
Oh, apparently it's not good money.
I went from Cage being a dickhead boss to like, Kong, what are you doing, man?
We're in the club.
Shitload of synchronized dancers at the Caribbean Club.
Some dance happening I don't understand.
You mean Coyote Ugly live on Broadway? 1. 2, as Kong walks in, this guy dancing. And Bingo was his name.
Whoa.
Guys, we have to open it up, back up the new Power Rankings Worst Dancer in Cinephobe history. Remember, these are the nominees. You've got Samuel L. Jackson in Great White Hype. You got Jennifer Love Hewitt and Lauryn Hill in Sister Act 2. You got Ben Affleck in 200 Cigarettes. And now you've got Bingo was his name, dancing right here in the entry to this club in Bangkok Dangerous.
Oh, man. You know who's the best dancer we've ever had in Cinephobe history is Steve Gettenberg from Teen Witch.
Yeah, it's either Steve Gettenberg or Michael Challenger.
Oh, Michael Challenger as well.
Yeah.
Okay. 5th on this list is going to be Samuel L. Jackson. He has been supplanted. He was the worst, and now
for a hot second there, man, it was real lonely at the top for Samuel L.
Then I'm going to go Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Why do you give her? I don't know, man. She was terrible to me, but go ahead. It's your list.
Agreed. She's one of the 5 worst dancers in Cinephobe history. Then this guy.
Bingo was his name.
Yeah. Then Ben Affleck. It's still Lauryn Hill number 1. Lauryn Hill was so bad.
Lauryn Hill still number 1.
Look, man, there's an expectation thing here, all right?
Yeah, you're just holding her to a different standard, and that's not fair, I don't think.
She's a professional musician. She's supposed to have rhythm.
Sounds like there's something else at play there.
What? What are you talking about?
Mike Malarkey, but let's go. Let's move on.
All right. Kong shows up. He's asking for Girl points her out. Kong pops up to her, stands, admires. She's dancing for him.
Admires.
Thirsty gaze.
Yes.
She stops, asks him a question. He shows her the X on the money, and now we're backstage.
And he's looking at her picture sideways.
Yeah. She hands him a briefcase and walks away. Cage is following him in a car as Kong rides a scooter on the way back.
No, whoa.
Yep.
She walks away.
There it is.
Takes a nice good gander.
There it is.
Kong, don't worry, buddy. I got you. 0 cheeks on
Yeah, I had that written down. Here comes an Amin 0 cheeks comment.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't do the, oh yeah, I had it written down that Amin's going to make a comment. If you notice her cheeks or like
if you weren't so goddamn predictable.
No.
Anytime a woman turns around and walks away, you can expect that to come along.
Hey, Mayes, which woman do you think he's going to give ass on to in this movie?
Oh, boy. Is it the one who's ear blind?
Here's the thing. I already know it's the deaf one.
Yeah, okay. The answer might shock you.
So Cage is following him in a car. He's on a scooter. Kong runs a red light, and a cop starts to pull him over.
Ass off for Cage when the dude runs a red. He's just incredulous.
Kong takes it to the sidewalk, goes through an alley, and he escapes. We cut to Kong waiting for Cage at the house.
Let's get the shades back on.
Cage asks for the case, then tells Kong he doesn't get paid for today.
Kong points out that Cage said, "Don't stop for nothing," but he doesn't want any more police. And then Kong says, "Fuck your mother."
Kong is right here.
Absolutely.
You gave him specific instructions, made it very clear, like, you stop for anything, you do anything other than the mission, you're not going to get paid. So that's what he did.
Did Kong say you're late to him?
He did, yeah.
That's pretty cocky.
Very coggy, too.
Yeah. Kongi.
Cage goes through the briefcase, looks at the pick in there, closes his eyes to remove his own ass, and says, "The human face can mislead in 1,000 different ways, but the eyes never change."
See? I agree. The human face can mislead in 1,000 different ways. Every time you guys say someone doesn't look like what he looks like.
Because it's always two white people.
This whole time I'm staring at Cage. I'm like, he looks like someone. He looks like someone. I don't figure it out yet, but I figure it out later in the movie. Stay tuned.
I was taught to start with the eyes. He burns the pic of the man getting into the car.
All of that was a voiceover, by the way. He didn't actually say it out loud.
He only says about 8% of his lines in this movie in a scene. Everything else is narration.
More on that in the trivia.
Cut to Cage running for a workout. He happens to go by the man from the pic. Coincidence.
Deep V of sweat on his chest.
He's got motorcycles, like multiple motorcycles now.
He's showered and changed by the time he gets to the motorcycles.
He's hiding on one in an alley. Checks his watch to make some notes about leaves work. In a hurry?
Alone.
Underline.
There's a traffic light with a countdown, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, we need this.
I love that.
We need this in America.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Kong goes back to see Ohm with the briefcase, tries to flirt with her. Now we're at a kickboxing match with the boss and Mr. Blonde. Ohm shows up, sits next to them, hands the briefcase to Mr. Blonde, and he just says, "Huh? Heroin?
What's it like to shoot up a bunch of heroin?"
Then says, give him what he needs. Cut to Kong knocking on the door with the briefcase. Cage starts to close the door, and Kong observes a painting of an elephant inside.
Pointing down. Bad luck. No good. Bad luck for you.
Cage just says goodnight and shuts the door in his face.
I can't tell whether Kong is ass on or ass off.
It's a great question. I struggle with this throughout the movie. Because there are parts where I believe him, and there are parts where I'm like, I don't know that you should be in this movie.
Right.
And that's art.
That's hard to do. This is the part where the ads come on and I have oppose S2292 don't break our prime ad. What?
Cage is sitting down with the case. He has the gun in there. He has the heroin in a syringe. You get a flashback of him shooting up the guy in Prague, just in case you've missed that part.
Right.
And he looks at the elephant.
They're good on reminders in this movie.
Now he's on a motorcycle waiting. Car rolls up with the target. As Cage cocks a submachine gun, a child walks by and locks eyes with him.
This kid starts staring at him like that Diddy meme.
Yeah.
From, like Americans Got Talent or whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they keep cutting back and forth and the kid is not breaking eye contact.
Cage pushes it away, puts down his visor and leaves, peels out and heads down the road. The kid kind of chases after him for some reason.
Cage has a remote that stops the traffic light.
He speeds into the intersection where the car is stopped, guns him through the windshield in the newspaper. The light goes green, and he takes off the other way.
Assassination.
This dumb kid is out there again. He avoids hitting the kid, but scrapes his arm on some metal rod sticking out of a truck. He chucks the gun in the river.
When he turns his motorcycle, he squeals his tires to get away.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you have to.
You have to. That's how you get away fast.
You're not driving fast if you didn't start by squealing your tires.
Do you want to get away from something like, I don't know, a marriage that's failing? You squeal your tires. Now Cage is cleaning himself up. He's talking into
checking on a wire transfer.
Yeah.
And it looks like he had sex with Wolverine.
So he heads to a pharmacy for Plan B. Looking around, the pharmacist notices him. The pharmacist! Oh, baby! Struggle with the products. He tells her he needs disinfectant. She doesn't respond. He asks if she speaks English. The other pharmacist comes over and starts talking to her in sign language.
This has to be an issue, right?
Ear blind.
You can't be a deaf pharmacist. You're supposed to explain to people like what happens when you take these drugs.
Well, she's good at writing notes.
And then I said, I guess it doesn't matter if he's in a foreign country. He shows her the cut and she starts touching it with her bare hands. I said, this isn't sanitary.
Yo.
His skin looks so much dirtier and the cut looks completely different than it did in the last scene.
It sure does. It looks like road rash scraped rather than 3 metal bars just scratched you.
Right.
He likes that she touches it, though.
Yeah, he does.
She gives him an ointment and some pills. She figures out how to tell him 1 in the morning.
The cream and the clear.
And 1 at night before bed.
Cage is enamored by the ear blind woman.
He is just staring at her so intensely.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable.
This is the part where I realized afterward, they were trying to build tension with this scene.
Right. I thought he was going to murder her.
And so the only reason there's that interaction with the kid is to give him the scrape so that he goes to the pharmacy.
And then he bows to her using the prayer hands when she looks back at him and says, thank you.
Namaste.
Then he just keeps staring until he realizes, I should probably leave.
She charges him 250 baht, which is about $8. Pretty cheap.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a disinfectant.
No, also it's a third world country.
Oh, Kong is shopping at a jewelry store. He wants something that's 20,000 baht. Looks at it before we cut back to the club. Scene out of the 5 Heartbeats.
Cut back to at the Caribbean grinding on some dude and clip this song. Kong is really getting his cuck O'Leary on, watching her work, getting jealous.
I'm so hot, boy. Let me do you good. I'm so hot.
The guy she's grinding on, I'm like, is that Bolo?
What?
The dude looked like Bolo.
Absolutely not.
Backstage, he gives her the ring.
She loves it.
End of scene.
Oh, maybe not. It's like one angle of what he looks like.
You're really diversifying your face blindness portfolio, huh?
They don't look anything alike.
Anytime I ever point out that somebody looks like someone else, you always disagree.
Because they never do.
They always do.
They never do.
It's literally one particular angle.
Can I do the white guy internet thing? You know, if it was me confusing 2 black people, it would be racism. Can you give me a slide whistle or something so they know I'm joking?
No, absolutely not.
I'm joking.
Oh, shit. Supercharge that. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Upon rewatching it, I was like, I guess he doesn't. And then it happened. I'm like, oh, no, wait, yes, he does. Right here, just in this moment right here.
No!
It looked like Bolo right before he smiled and like grabbed the headband and twirled it around his head.
Not at all.
Kong is riding his bike at night. Some dudes come out of the shadows and absolutely obliterate him.
Rush him off this scooter.
Like Abraham Lincoln chopping down a tree.
Did he propose to
No, it's just a promise ring.
Promise ring? I think it's just a gift.
It knocks him off the bike. Then these dudes come out of nowhere to beat the shit out of him.
Kicking the shit out of him.
And I'm wondering, who are these guys? Is this related to what just went down with or no?
And then a guy I described as Jason Mimosa walks up and screams for him.
It's my joke.
To give the money he owes him.
I brought you back.
He grabs the briefcase, starts banging it against the wall. Then Kong takes out a blade and cuts everyone across the leg in a circle.
They all turn their attention to the dude with the briefcase, leaving him alone. Then he gets the briefcase back, starts running. Now we got to chase through the alley that leads to the Kumite, and Kong loses them by hopping on a golf cart.
It's not a golf cart. It's
a motorized tuk-tuk.
Yeah, tuk-tuk or a rickshaw.
He's in terrible shape, by the way.
They've all been slashed on their legs, and they're still running pretty well.
Yeah, they were running pretty well. Like, you cut me in the leg, I'm done. I'm not running for a week.
Geez, guys, Bangkok sure is dangerous.
He's just waiting for him. Answers the door. Kong says, sorry, boss. Don't be sorry. Be on time. What happened to your face?
He got his ass beat, right?
Some asshole tried to mug me. Like 20 of them. But I kicked their asses.
It was 4 dudes, Max.
No, you got to say 20.
And he didn't kick anybody's ass.
He cut them like a coward.
He cut and run, literally.
Yeah, he did.
I love how Cage says there's a beer in the fridge. I was waiting for him to say, get it for me.
Cage observes the case, says it's been open. Kong says not by him. They broke it, but he wouldn't let them have it. He got it back for you. Kong, a little ass off here, but a little ass on at the same time. I couldn't figure it out.
One cheek in it.
He's a bad man. Who? The man in the case. You gonna kill him? So you didn't open it, but you looked in that motherfucker, didn't you?
Sure did.
Does this mean that the guy banging it against the wall got it open?
Yeah. Couple bangs. That's all it took. Bangkok.
Bang case dangerous. All right. As he's getting the beer, he asks Cage if he can teach him everything. He can help Cage. And as he turns around, Cage puts a knife to his throat.
Yeah.
And Kong just says, please show me.
And I said, okay, I'm not the only one. Tension in this training scene.
Just fuck already.
As they keep going, Cage just says so breathlessly, so sensually.
Again. 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 Again.
Again.
Again.
Again.
I can't be as sexy as he is in that moment.
Nobody can.
Again.
One man could. It's Carl Weathers. That's it.
As he teaches him how to wax on, wax off.
Definitely don't.
Whack off.
Ew. He's slowly learning what to do as Cage guides him towards the goal without saying what to do.
Yeah.
Now they're doing it really fast.
There's this swirling cinematography that keeps happening in this movie. Kind of a Dutch angle, too. It's pretty low to the ground. Then Cage pretends he's done, starts to walk away, but quickly turns around, tries to hit him one more time.
Kong defends himself.
That was your first lesson.
Now I was thinking,
voiceover.
Yeah, can we get some narration? This is too much interaction.
Why didn't I kill him? Maybe it's because, and this is strange, somehow, when I looked into his eyes, I saw myself. So I became his teacher.
Why didn't I kill him? This is a very Carlito's Way, Benny Blanco thing going on here, right? Thinking that it would come back to bite him in the ass by not killing Kong. Spoiler alert, it does not bite him in the ass.
It kind of does, but not in the way that you would think.
Not in a Carlito's Way.
Cage and Kong are on a rooftop together observing another target. He tells Kong...
Is this a montage?
It eases in and then it becomes a full-blown montage.
Best way to defend yourself is to know when something's about to happen. So you have to learn to read your surroundings. But they're not on a rooftop together. They're in the night market.
The zoom on those binoculars is ridiculous.
It's incredible.
Incredible descriptive detail.
And also he says the best way to defend yourself is to know when something's about to happen because you can't see the future. That's a different movie with the same hair.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I should reveal to you guys, for a few years, I had Russian night vision goggles that didn't zoom like that.
Courtesy of Oakley?
Courtesy of my manager at Oakley, who was just
a
real weird dude. He was a real weird dude, but he gave them to me for helping him move out of his house when he and his wife got a divorce.
Nice. Of course. I don't think you'd be a manager of an Oakley store if you're not divorced. That's part of the employment agreement.
This bald white guy who was from Huntington Beach and had moved up there to take this job, manager at an Oakley store. Like, he moved to Sacramento from Huntington Beach. I think she had money, though. I think that was the thing. And so
Huntington Beach.
I think that he cheated on her with an Asian woman.
Wait, clip it again, Mace.
Oh my God, my kid brother's been shot. I think it was an Asian gang or something. I saw someone, he looked Asian, and he was speaking another language. I'm pretty sure it was Asian.
I think it was Asian.
Well, because he was always super interested in any Asian woman that walked in. And then I kind of heard some third-hand stuff about there was some cheating involved and that it was someone that worked in the mall. I don't know. So he didn't have any money because she made all the money. So he didn't have any money to give me when I helped him move out of his house. But he did give me the Russian night vision goggles.
What'd you do with them?
I had them for a long time. I think they might be in my parents' house now. I don't know where they are.
Oh, man. Gotta dig them up, man.
They were great.
Dude, the night vision goggles.
At the bachelor party I was at a couple weeks ago, one of the guys brought night vision goggles, and they were his grandfather's own design who left Russia. It was one of a kind. It never got licensed and became the real thing, but it's his own technology.
It's a prototype.
So I also looked through Russian night vision goggles.
How about that?
You guys are going to laugh. But just yesterday, I was on Amazon looking for Russian night vision goggles.
You're such a liar. Why the kazoo?
I don't know.
I don't like the kazoo. Okay.
I kind of feel like the kazoo feels a little bit like a... Oh, I shouldn't say that, I guess.
Jesus, supercharge that.
I mean, you could just cut it. You could just cut it. You don't
supercharge it.
I didn't mean it on purpose.
It was an accidental slur.
They're in the night market. See that man in the red jacket? Kong doesn't see anyone. And this is turning into a full-blown training montage.
And we're gonna need a montage. Ooh, it takes a montage. Rocky had a montage.
Kong's hitting a punching bag. Kong and Cage grappling in slow motion.
Cage takes him down.
You're living in a city of mirrors. Store windows, glass office buildings, all are steel. Eyes in the back of your head.
Kong ejaculates upon realizing this fact because he looks in the rearview mirror of a motorcycle and sees the dude walking and he goes, complete release.
Can I tell you one more thing about this manager at Oakley?
Okay, yes, please.
You still got them Oakleys?
He eventually quit as the manager and just wanted to stay on as like a sales associate because he wanted the discount. But he did it because he got a job being a welder. And he was like constantly bragging about how much more money he made as a welder than he did as the manager of the store.
He wanted to continue to have a discount on Oakleys. How many Oakleys was he buying a year?
You got 16 a year, and they were 75% off.
No, I'm not saying like how many are you allowed. How many Oakleys could one person possibly want?
You give them as gifts?
Yo, I was given all kinds of Oakleys as gifts, man.
Jesus Christ.
Here's $200 sunglasses. There, you're welcome.
Oh my God. The worst time of Zach's life.
Party favors in his gift bag. I mean,
stocking stuffers, baby. But then he got fired 3 months later because he kept fucking up. And then he had to come back, but he couldn't be the manager anymore. So then he just had to be a regular sales associate. And it was one of the saddest things I can remember.
What's his name?
It was Leslie.
Oh my God. Les, definitely the manager of an Oakley store who's getting divorced for sure.
Less is more.
His wife was fine too. I don't know what he was doing. She wasn't Asian though.
He was doing Asians.
I guess so.
I think they was Asian.
Living again, third time in this podcast.
You're not getting two of those in one segment, guys. Come on.
What?
It's not the Donut Brothers. We're not bookending this shit, all right?
You can do the short version.
He sees the man in the rearview mirror of the scooter with the red jacket. He understands, calls him boss a couple of times, and Cage says, "I'm not your boss. I'm your teacher."
Tension?
So I call you Ajan then.
He's trying to shoot watermelons. He is a horrible shot. He could not be worse at this.
Cage looks stressed by that.
Yes, because this man has a gun and can't hit anywhere close to the target.
Now he's just sharing pictures of the next target with him.
Kong explains he's a bad dude. Buys girls from the north and sells them. We see this guy having sex with two women who I can only assume are teenage girls.
He keeps stressing they're young. These are underage girls. And I'm like, okay, we get it. And then the Pang brothers decide we need an extended scene.
Right.
Seeing this dude bang the shit out of two underage girls.
Pang the shit.
Pang the shit out of them. Pang bros.
Do we really need to see underage girls fucking?
Because once it's established that these are quote unquote young girls.
He hurts many country girls from the north, buys them from their parents and sells them. Young girls. I don't need to see it at that point.
Same thing like Devil, huh? Then Cage burns the file. Supposed to be an accidental death.
Did the paper say description fat?
Yes, I did see that.
Okay.
I did see that.
Cage is dressed in all black.
Like my voice.
Anthony Face.
Cage is dressed in all black in the hotel room. As he stands at the foot of the bed, someone stirs in the bed. Cage drops to the floor. It's not him. It's a woman. Probably a young girl.
A girl. Yeah.
Having a nightmare. Cage looks out the window. This guy is with another young girl at the pool, who we see topless, which, again, she's supposed to be a young girl.
Gratuitous.
He swims to the deep end, and Cage swims underneath the surface.
Glides silently like the anaconda.
You know what it looked like? Because they show like this figure in the water. You remember that picture of Manute Bull?
Swimming, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Like that shot of it reminded me. It was actually really cool the way it was shot. I don't know if you guys liked it.
I did enjoy it.
I like the way this movie looks.
It looks cool, man. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the guy was complaining about. But also, my man, the Target has some very, very snug. They're not quite Speedos, but they're definitely not. They're like kind of the boxer brief of swimming.
Like boy shorts, right?
Yeah. Yes, I suppose you could call them boy shorts. I call them boxer briefs. But
Yeah. Same thing.
there's a security guy who's doing absolutely nothing but just
Absolutely nothing.
basking in the moonlight. This whole drowning scene keeps getting flash cuts.
Sharp cuts in and out. Screen keeps flashing black. Cage choking him out underwater as we hear a heartbeat.
Cage has been underwater for a good 45 minutes at this point.
Yes.
Never came up for a breath.
The autopsy will show that this was clearly no accident.
That was my question. Wouldn't there be signs of struggle and strangulation and
Yes.
therefore not an accidental death?
Yes.
Then the guy sinks to the bottom of the pool. How deep is this pool?
Oh my God. It's deeper than the pool that Charlie and Mac tried to clean up, and It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Cage is still holding his breath. He swims away underwater silently, and we get one last lingering shot of
Of the underage.
the gratuitous. News position. Oh, man. Remember that instead of voiceover?
Missed that, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while. Gangster Brahma Juntasa found dead. And Kong is now doing wax on, wax off in the mirror by himself. He can't believe the news that the guy he saw the assassin was going to target is dead.
My note was Kong is bingo air punching in front of a mirror.
Is this his roommate? Is this his brother? Who is this?
I don't know. They work together? I don't even know where he is.
And that guy is less surprised of the dead gangster than Kong is, even though Kong was in on the job.
They're stretching before another training montage. How many people have you killed? I don't think about that. Now push-ups. Do the police know who you are? No one knows who I am. No one knows where I am.
I know.
Tension?
Cage just looks at him.
Cage has already broken rules 1 and 2, which is no questions and no friends outside of work.
And now they're eating together and they're training together and he's asking them questions and the hand-to-hand is getting handsier. And I wrote, this movie isn't bad, but it is certainly boring.
Cage is doing all this hand-to-hand without looking at him, and he looks like Ben Affleck trying to portray a blind person.
Then they cut to Cage in bed, agonizing over the love he's found. He found love in a hopeless place, like Rihanna.
Back to the pharmacy. Woman's cooking on the street. Out front, she holds up a tiny crab. Cage is lurking.
Oh, man. He lurks more than Keanu in The Watcher.
She notices him, remembers him, smiles.
Hi, it's me.
He's flirting with this deaf lady again. What's going on?
You're blind.
The other lady comes up, says, can I help? He's like, yeah. Can you ask her if she wants to go to dinner with me? And the lady proceeds to do...
I mean, my note. What she did to relay that message to the other pharmacists simply cannot be sign language.
This can't be the sign language for take her to dinner is what I wrote.
It can't be at all because it is simply she points at her, she points at him, and she just puts her 2 fingers together.
Yum, yum, yum.
And then pretends to eat.
Eat down, down, down. This can't be it.
She sort of nods in agreement. Now we got a date.
Cut to dinner next to a big fountain with a band playing. Just like Along Came Polly, he's eating the food that's very spicy for him.
Cage is sweating his ass off. Oh my God.
There's zero tension in this scene.
It's hot. They bring out a flaming soup dish. She takes an herb and offers him a leaf like the golden child.
What was his plan for communicating with this woman on a date?
I thought that maybe he was asking the coworker to come along as well, but no.
Oh.
No.
That would have been good.
He asked the coworker to translate. And when he saw the translation, it was literally just, you, me, I'm. He's like, I think I can make it. I think I can make it to a date.
Is this all we have to do? Okay, I can communicate this.
This is sign language. Make a circle with one hand and then put my finger in that circle and go in and out several times.
Pretend to honk something.
The new flaming soup is surprisingly really hot once again. So he takes another leaf. She offers him the branch. Oh, the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. Not the whole thing. Menage a note.
And she's just clowning him.
Yeah.
Time for a show. And we're splicing in his training with Kong for shooting a gun with this dancing.
Another goddamn montage.
Tells Kong, don't pull the trigger. Squeeze it.
Squeeze.
Tension.
And then they just start wrecking these watermelons.
Motorcycle action with him giving Kong a bike.
It's yours. Congratulations.
We're back at the nightclub.
And this song I kept thinking was Short Dick Man. Don't want no short dick man.
In the biggest pump fake of all time, meanwhile, at the club, finally gives Kong her number. And I wrote, this is the SS I'm going to live forever, isn't it?
But he's really getting his Cuck O'Leary on beforehand because he just loves to go to this club and watch her grind on other dudes.
He loves watching her with these guys who are not Bolo Young.
For all that, for the ring, for showing up multiple times, he gets a kiss on the cheek.
After a 20,000 baht ring? Are you kidding me?
That wasn't even the time he got her number.
No.
It was the next time. Crime Boss and Mr. Blonde want to know more about him, so Mr. Blonde follows him.
Cage is at the night market with the girl.
The night market.
People saying hi to her.
And there's an elephant casually behind them.
An elephant just grabbed Cage's hand. She wants him to give the elephant some bananas. He doesn't know how? He can't figure out to feed an elephant? Where does he think the food goes?
That's funny.
It was like you were asking him to do trigonometry after 30 years out of high school. Like, what are you doing?
There's more tension with this elephant than between him and her.
Oh, yes. Interspecies erotica.
And then when he finally feeds the elephant, she's so happy. I said, She's smiling like Russell Wilson's ex on draft day. Just this huge, goofy ass grin.
This crazy ass smile.
Who, by the way, looks like Sweet D.
The elephant?
No, Russell Wilson's ex.
It's a real topical joke.
Oh, gosh.
The elephant looks like Sweet D.
Russell Wilson's been in the NFL for 14 years.
I mean, it's retroactively doing face blindness for a decade ago to make up for lost time.
Phone's ringing as he pets the elephant. Kong tells him someone's following him. Cage says get to the ferry station in 20 minutes and wait for his call.
Put the phone in the briefcase, and then he tosses it.
2 kids pick it up. This is where Mr. Blonde gets his name from me. Then Zach Harper slaps the kid and takes the case.
I mean, these kids are so stupid, man. I would have done the same thing.
That's why I called him Zach Harper. Plus, the hair is very similar. Like, do you bleach blonde your hair, Zach?
Yeah, if I bleached my hair, it would look a lot like that.
Zach Harper.
Get us to 100,000 reviews on Apple Podcasts, and I'll do it.
Oh, wow. 100,000 reviews? I think we could do it.
1 million reviews.
No. Do 100,000 combined, Apple and Spotify.
No.
Why?
I don't want to bleach my hair.
Yes, you do. That's why you said it.
No, I don't. I've never done it before. I don't think it would look good.
You kind of want to do it. It's like when I said I'll go to Milwaukee and sit in the dunk. I wanted to go to Milwaukee. That's the truth.
Supercharge that.
Mr. Blonde tells the boss the case is returned. The phone starts ringing. The call is coming from inside the case. Cage wants to talk to the boss.
Did Nick Cage just abandon his deaf girlfriend?
Yes.
How did he communicate? Gotta go. He just left.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He just left.
She gets the idea.
She went home with the elephant.
A lot of more tension there. Elephant had a smile on its face too, by the way.
In Thailand, trunk goes in you.
Oh boy.
What?
No?
Yak off Bangkok? What was that? Cage wants to talk to the boss. We had an arrangement. If I see your people again, I'll kill your wife. And we see a red dot sight on the wife's head.
Woo.
Goes to the window. Can't see anyone. Now he arrives at the ear-blind pharmacist's mom's house while wearing a tie.
Well, she lives there.
They've had one date. They touched an elephant. And now he's meeting the family?
No, they've had 2 dates, haven't they?
Well, this is date number 2 right here.
Oh, I thought this was date number 3.
Didn't they go walk in the night market after the dinner?
That's the same night?
See, I don't know because this movie keeps jumping.
Because it's a montage.
So you think the dinner, the dance performance, and the night market elephant are all different nights?
All different nights.
Okay, yeah, so this would be the 4th date.
That makes more sense. That's when you fuck an elephant and meet the mom.
That's when you fuck an elephant, you tell the mom I'm a banker.
Yo, I have quite possibly the most offensive remark
boy.
in the history of Cinephobe.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
I don't know if it's going to beat my white man's burden note. I guess we'll have to find out.
No, this one will. Brace yourself. So we get a close-up.
Let's just start revving up the charger right now, okay?
Yeah, it might be a San Diego supercharger situation. She's got her hair brushed back behind her ear, and I wrote, I feel bad saying this.
No, you don't.
Deaf people be having... Have you ever seen Marley Matlin?
Oh my God.
Is this God's cruel joke?
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers.
No, just me.
I have no comment.
Okay, that's a yes.
It's not. I have no comment.
It's like when I said the little person, the dwarf on
oh my
in
God.
Left Behind.
Don't say it.
Sounded like Zach said I have no comment because he knew I was right. That's why. The mom asks her, where's he from? And she says, America, I think. And I said, how could she not know? Then I realized, oh yeah, she can't hear.
They've never spoken about anything.
I mean, how would you communicate you're from America?
What does he do for work?
When Cage says that he's in banking, the mom says, this is very pleasing. There's some more smiles.
Then she just leaves them to bang.
Cock.
Then the earblind pharmacist goes to the window because it's raining. She starts signing. Rain. More signs. Rain is you? Your name means rain? This is your name?
Honestly, I could have had a whole movie of Nick Cage trying to figure out what signs are.
Romantic piano. They clasp hands.
They held them up like they were grappling in a wrestling match in the 1980s. Like, what were they doing?
Cage goes to leave. They bow, kiss on the cheek. Then he goes home and rotates the elephant art upside down.
Uh-huh. The trunk is erect.
And just like that, the elephant trunk went from Zach Harper at night to Zach Harper at daybreak.
Yeah.
Then he takes out the heroin, tosses it in the river.
Is he at an elephant sanctuary? Why are there so many fucking elephants in this movie?
Is he a heroin addict?
Yeah, same question too, bro. Did he do heroin ever?
No.
Or was he going to kill someone?
He was going to kill Kong with it. He kills the helper.
But I thought he killed the other guy with heroin because he was a heroin addict.
Yeah, you can see the tracks.
No, he did it to make it look like an accidental death.
But why does the guy have tracks then?
Because he was a heroin addict. That just, I guess, was a fortuitous coincidence.
But this is also the way to like kill somebody.
So he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
But I can't keep finding heroin addicts. So I'm just going to make everyone a heroin overdose.
Also, why does he do this after his date?
Where he claps hands.
That's what inspired him to not want to kill Kong anymore?
He's a changed man. He broke rule number 3.
Next target, floating market. Bad man? Bad for somebody. It's in the Ratsbury province.
Floating market's an hour and a half away.
Kong laughs as he burns the paper. They're going to leave early in the morning, so get some rest.
Cut to the floating market. And this looks dope. I would totally go to this floating market.
Yeah.
It looks great.
It was pretty cool.
Looks a little hectic, but it is cool.
A really cool look, a really cool setting that you don't see usually in movies.
Yeah.
I really appreciated this.
I wrote, we should do this instead of the train.
No, that water looks rank, dude.
I'm not saying drink it. I'd just like to go buy some produce.
I can smell it though, man.
Yeah, the train's going to smell real good.
Yes, it's an Amtrak. We're not taking the freaking Darjeeling Express.
48 hours of us locked in a cabin together.
We're going to shower.
How do you think that's going to smell?
Bathe. And we get to walk around. We're going to go to the dining car too.
At least we'll be safe at night. I mean, from Zach.
Yeah, but daytime, it's go time.
Daytime's all bad. I don't know how that's going to go, but nighttime is our time.
You better hope they don't fix this daylight savings thing by then.
Cage hides a gun under a flower necklace, and then he uses a petite camcorder to spy on people with his head down.
Yeah, how did that look?
Incredible zoom on this camcorder.
Yeah, it really is.
He's got it right up on the target, full frame. The image quality is incredible. I don't know how you get that kind of zoom capacity on such a small camcorder body.
I believe you.
All the targets roll deep with hose at all times.
Bad men.
They stay having hose around them.
While he's zooming in, they're right next to a hat saleswoman who's talking about her beautiful hats.
She blows up the spot like, buy something, you buy something.
There's also a bunch of people taking pictures, and Cage starts to panic.
That gun is very inconspicuous. Not.
He tells Kong to get them out of there. The target keeps looking back. Cage wants out of the boat. Dock on the left. Target gets the motor working on their boat. Cage and Kong go find another boat and motor after him.
And finally, I said, a chase. That's what I thought this movie was going to be about, like chasing through streets of Bangkok and shit.
They completely tip over a merchant.
That sucks. That's the real drawback to the floating market.
It's a dangerous game.
If all your inventory goes into the dirty-ass river.
Cage is shooting at the boat. Driver jumps out. Target's driving and shooting now. The target sees a boat with gas canisters and blows it up.
Part of the reason I was late today was because I rewound this scene to count how many shots, because I was like, these guys are just firing left and right. But turns out it checks out.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that was useless.
Yeah.
The only casualty of the explosion, Cage's hat. My hat!
Cage goes to the coast, steals a dirt bike, and he's riding alongside. This guy's boating.
Is he riding or is it?
Well...
is a stuntman?
That's a great question.
Every time there's a wide shot of the boat, it's a stuntman in a hat with his head down.
They are no more than 11 feet apart as they are side by side and neither can hit the other.
Cage is going off random jumps. His fuel tank gets shot. It's leaking. Then he runs out of bullets. Fuck! So he hops up on the bike, swan dives off it into the air, landing on the boat, massive explosion, roundhouse kicks the guy, then cuts his hand off with the boat propeller.
Golden dumpster.
The severed hand is twitching.
Oh my
Cage
God.
takes the gun out of it, shoots the target, and we get a shot of the bullets zooming through the bottom of the boat into the water.
Great shot.
That was really cool.
The target also acting his ass off once the hand gets cut.
Oh, the target is definitely acting his ass off. And as Cage stands above him, looking down, I finally figured out who he looks like.
Me too.
He looks like Gene Simmons.
Oh, I was going to say, he looks like Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, he does look like Tommy Wiseau. Better
yeah,
call.
I got more Tommy Wiseau. I'm with Maze on this one.
But Tommy Wiseau kind of looks like Gene Simmons too.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually true. This was about as conspicuous as you could get for a hitman kill.
No, they're way far away from the floating market.
Kong catches up. He sees the carnage, and I thought, for someone who just murdered a man in broad daylight, Cage doesn't seem to be in any kind of hurry. to get out of there.
It just stands above him.
This whole scene is about lingering shots.
Yep.
We get a shot of him slowly drifting. We get a shot of him holding the gun a good 20 seconds after he shot the guy. And he looks up at Cage and he's afraid now. He's seen the man in action.
Cage hands Kong the briefcases, take it to the club. Kong is watching TV and says, "They say he like you, you know?" There's a man speaking on TV.
What the fuck does that mean?
Fights bad guys and helps the poor. Thai people love him. He's a very good man. None of that is true.
None of that describes Cage.
What poor people has he helped?
Yeah.
What Thai people love him?
Just a earblind woman.
Guys, I wonder who the fourth target will be. We're now in some religious cave area with statues and candles and altars, and it's another date for Cage and a woman he can't communicate with.
Date night. There's a big old Buddha lying down on its side. I liked how chill that Buddha was.
I love that Buddha. Oh my God.
The sign says 50 coins, 50 wishes. And I said, the Stugats is strong in this temple.
She puts a coin in the receptacle. He does the same dramatically. Then he stops and contemplates, and he's just watching her do it, and that's it. That's really just the entire scene.
5 heartbeats.
Now they're walking together at night, looking at each other. She smiles. More romantic piano.
They are not communicating on a level where I thought this is the relationship equivalent of, what's the wrestler's name? Chain?
Oh my God, are we doing this again?
The Edge?
Edge, yes.
What the hell, man? It's your favorite movie.
It's the relationship equivalent of Edge as a wrestler in Money Plane, just being in a cockpit the whole movie. There is zero stuff happening in this relationship.
What do you mean? They've been on so many different dates.
Nothing's happened.
He met her mom. He's a banker.
They haven't banged once.
She gives him a note and walks away. He opens it up and it says, "I am happy together with you."
She is.
Oh, shit. There's no chance her handwriting is that good in a language she doesn't speak.
Oh.
No chance.
That's probably safe, yeah.
2 guys come out of nowhere, pull guns on Nick Cage.
She has no idea.
I laughed so hard and I said, golden dumpster.
Because she's ear blind. He kills them both, but she can't hear, so she's just smiling as blood splatters on her shoulder. Who are these dudes?
They're just random muggers.
Again?
It's Bangkok, man. It's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
But he's very nonchalant. Like after he just shot these 2 guys, he forgets he's on a date.
For someone who just murdered 2 people, he's in no hurry to flee the scene.
She is, though. She cuts and runs.
Yeah, she runs out of there with her ass on.
I prayed for him to call after her. Does he even know her name?
We get a shot of the upside down elephant again. He rides to the pharmacy. She's not there. Another shot of the elephant. He rides her home, sees her through a window. She closes it. Then he rips down the elephant and burns it. This is not your home. You have Airbnb'd this place. That is their artwork that you have now destroyed.
And by the way, it's not the elephant's fault. You know whose fault it is? It's Kong's fault because he told you you got to turn the elephant upside down for good luck. And ever since he did that, bad shit has happened to him.
Yep.
Bunch of random shit on the counter. The voiceover is back. It's been a minute, but it repeats the rules, but backwards this time. 4, know when it's time to get out. He's making a bomb in a paint can.
3, erase every trace, and he calls Kong.
This is around the time when IEDs were all the rage.
Oh, that's true. That's actually a really good point.
As soon as he's putting like nuts and bolts in there, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's right. 2008, man. Big time for IEDs.
2, don't take an interest in people outside of work. Kong's at the front door. He takes the briefcase and he shuts the door in Kong's face. 1, don't ask questions.
Opens the envelope. It's the good man, the very good man. And in case you didn't realize that, flashback to Kong saying that he's a very good man.
I've got to concentrate. I've got to concentrate. Hello? Hello? Echo. Pinch hitting for Pedro Borbon. Manny Mota.
That's all I could think of when he just heard Kong's voice echoing in his head. Have you ever heard a voice echo in your head?
No, never once.
Is that just a thing in movies to let us know that this is a memory and he's not someone talking off screen?
I think so. Like, I would feel like I'm having a stroke if something was echoing in my head. I've rarely heard anything echo ever. A couple of places with some acoustics, but that's it.
It's interesting to do a flashback, but just the audio? Why not just show us the visual component as well?
Right.
We do it with a harp.
It's Harper.
Now Cage is staking out his next move. He's scouting, looking at buildings and angles.
And he's wearing Patrick Swayze's pants from Roadhouse. These are some billowy ass linen pants.
Chauncey Billows.
Frantic cut to him on a motorcycle. Now he's peeking out a window, marking a map, starting his watch.
He loves this fucking watch, by the way.
More on that in the trivia. Runs out, hops on the bike. Voiceover.
Political assassination wasn't in the contract. And there's two ways to go. Either walk away from the job or do the job and walk away rich.
The truth is, almost anyone can take out a politician.
Keeps going.
It's not the hard part. The hard part is getting away with it.
No shit. No one was confused about that.
Isn't that every murder?
Yeah.
This is the Jerry Seinfeld, right? Anyone can take
a reservation. It's the holding the reservation.
It's the holding the reservation that ultimately is what matters.
Back to the bad guys who hired Cage. Says Cage wants more money.
Big job. There's risk.
He knows who we are. If he were caught, it could lead back to us.
Blonde asks about the messenger.
Erase every link.
Ty Zach Harper.
Girl 2, just be safe. Ty Me says, I'll take care of it.
So I thought he was talking about our friend, the ear-blind pharmacist, but turns out he's talking about,
I also thought that.
Me too.
Because they don't know about the ear-blind pharmacist, because they didn't try to arrange that hit earlier. That was just a random mugging because Bangkok is dangerous.
Cut to the club. Kong says he needs to go. Wants him to stay.
They're just canoodling
Yeah.
backstage for like a hot second.
That's his girl now, man.
How many 15-minute breaks does she get during a shift?
She gets a lot.
Apparently whenever she wants, because there's so many dancers out that they don't notice.
Coyote Ugly, that's the beauty. Strength in numbers.
He says Cage is counting on him. He walks off. She walks into Ty Me.
Ty Me.
Cage takes the giant case from Kong. Well, it seems a little egotistical if I say Ty Zach Harper.
Ty Me is much better. You're right. Kong goes to Cage, gives him the briefcase. Kong, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Last job? Yeah. Bad man? Bad for somebody. Call back.
Case got a sniper rifle and heroin syringe combination. Cut to Ty Me beating the shit out of Am.
Oh, yeah.
Sees a kid. Says to call Kong or he'll hurt the sister. Kong shows up to the empty club. 2 guys attack him and he beats the shit out of them because he's been training, guys.
But all those training montages finally paid off.
He grabs a cricket bat and she screams for him because she's being held at gunpoint.
Rickety cricket.
Oh, I didn't see this scene.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible.
Ty Me is then beating the shit out of him and choking him with piano wire. Did you see that?
No.
Oh.
The Watcher.
Oh, is that piano wire?
Yeah.
I thought he pulled him up by his ears. I was like, this is
What?
weird.
Pulled him up by his ears.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed his ears and like pulled him up.
They want to know where Cage is staying. They bring Am in there. It's time for a parade. Marching band. There's more elephants. Elephant movie.
Oh, wait. No. You glossed over one of the best lines in the movie.
What?
Tell us where Cage is staying or I'm going to cut her tits off. And I said, cut her tits off? By the way, Boss Man is always eating. Do you guys notice that?
He's constantly eating. That's really the role to have, right? The guy who's always eating in every scene. Brad Pitt's got it figured out.
I feel like it makes you act better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's easier to act if you're eating.
Because Brad Pitt's not a great actor, but whenever he's eating, I think he's doing a great job.
Unless you're one of those people who doesn't even know how to act to eat. Have you ever seen those people? They scoop all the food like really quickly, like it's a race.
Right.
Why are you eating like that? Take a spoonful and then hold the spoon and point at the person you're talking to.
No, I think you got to do the Ezekiel Elliott. If you're in the background of any movie scene, you just got to be just housing whatever you're having.
Just
He's assembling the gun as the politician drives through like he's JFK.
Lee Harvey Cagewald from the Book Depository. Are we still doing motorcades? Really? In 2008?
It's Bangkok. It's dangerous.
Exactly. It's Bangkok. It's dangerous. Why are we doing this in 2008? In the exact same, everything about it was JFK, right? The parade route.
Bangkok and to the left.
Yeah.
Bangkok and to the left.
Cage is looking for an open look.
Cage is looking at the crowd. He's just staring at every woman in the crowd.
I started wondering, is he going to accidentally shoot someone in the crowd? Because he has like PTSD? He sees that all these people are so thrilled to see the politician.
They're all women.
We hear some echoes.
We get more Kong Echo's position.
To concentrate.
The Thai people love him.
To Concentrate.
It was an callback.
Now the angle on the shot is completely different. Is this politician just going around in circles? It's really not clear. Get some Cage ragged breathing, and then he squeezes the trigger. He doesn't pull it.
No one can see this gun. He's 20 yards from this guy.
No, he's got zoom on this sniper rifle, just like on his camcorder.
Cage fires the bullet. The shot of the bullet going through the air and getting into the politician's forehead is fucking great.
So awesome. What a great shot.
And then we get a confusing series of cuts of all the other people he's killed.
Are all of these kills his?
Including some people that I don't think were in this movie?
No.
Then slow motion, ear-blind pharmacist crying, fade to black.
And I said, hold on. He's feeling guilty because of the pharmacist? You just met her, my dude. Did you even hit yet?
Wait, the gunshot didn't happen? What in the next is going on? Is this film noir?
Same note too. Turns out he can see the future.
Military spots him in the building and they start unloading on this building. They're shooting the shit out of this thing as the army crawls out of there.
And rather than just go to another floor and just hang out or exit the back way and nonchalantly just walk away, he goes out on the roof
in a full leather outfit. It's got to be 100 degrees there. What is he doing?
And they are lighting him up.
Slow motion somersault. Then he drops down onto a lower roof, runs over to some stairs. There's 8 dudes at the bottom with guns waiting for him. Now he's running through the building, taking his jacket off. He tries to blend in with the chaotic crowd, so he puts a black hat on.
He's the only white man there.
Steals a camera out of a journalist's back pocket.
That's a great move.
That reminded me of Next, where he's like grabbing items off of people and just kind of rolling with it.
Then he uses the camera to smash a car window. I've never tried that, but I think it would work, guys.
Camera or toilet bowl?
Toilet bowl for sure, but you can't always have one of those.
Gotta go toilet bowl, yeah.
I feel like camera, because it's light, man. Like you can pick up a toilet bowl. It's kind of unwieldy.
Right, but you're never going to be able to use that camera again.
It's not his camera.
It's also using a multi-$1,000 item as a blunt object. I'd rather use the discarded toilet.
As opposed to a $200 toilet that someone's abandoned.
It's not his camera. It doesn't matter. Quick question. If you had to disappear in a crowd, how would you do it?
Couldn't do it. Too tall.
Yeah, Maze could not do it.
That's a major side effect of tall man syndrome.
Well, Maze, what if you put sneakers on your knees and then just tried to like waddle out of there on your knees with the rest of your leg behind you?
Future cinephobe, tiptoes. We'll talk about it then.
I think I have a technique.
Yeah, I've got a move too that would work for me. It wouldn't work for you, I mean.
What do you got?
I'd immediately get into blackface and try to run.
And apply to Harvard Law School? What do you mean?
Yeah, and then I'm in law school and they don't know where the fuck to find me.
See, this is my thing. Obviously, I'm talking about a situation like this where there's been a shooting and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go downstairs and act hysterical. Oh my God! Oh my God!
But not too hysterical because you can't draw attention to yourself.
Yes, yes.
There's a fine line.
You got to match the energy of the people around you for sure.
You can't go in there and be like, we're having a fire sale. Oh, the burning.
Back to voiceover. When the nightmare becomes real, you don't think, you just run. Anyone in the way goes down. It's pretty simple. You're the target now. There's the tagline. Leave the country or you're gonna die.
You're the target now, dog.
You're the target now, dog.
Door handle turns. He hears it. They're bad guys creeping in the house with guns. They're sneaking around.
Luckily, I made these handy dandy paint bombs.
And then he jumps in the tub and it explodes like a Michael Bay microwave.
What's the deposit on this Airbnb? Because I don't think he's getting it back.
I don't think he's getting it back. If you thought the painting burning was wrong, whew, got some damage to explain here.
Cage comes down the stairs. He's fine.
Does he look CGI'd in this scene to you?
Does he look CGI?
I thought it was completely CGI.
No. But can we just get hologram Cage?
That's what I think happened. That's how that looked to me.
He takes the watch off the dude so easily. It just slips right off.
Yes, where Kong is. Why the fuck you care? He's my student. The guy laughs and Cage kills him.
My man laughs. Yo, it's a real one right there. He says, ha, 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 and then...
You bitch. Yes, the other guy. He's with Surratt, main bad guy. Bad guy's watching the newscast. Tai Mi has no answer from the henchman on the phone.
Maybe he killed them.
Couldn't have killed him. He's only one man.
Now that right there,
that's a tagline.
That's a boat name live forever. He's only one man. How bad could it be? So he shows up at his ear-blind girlfriend's mama's house. She looks away from him. Cage bows and leaves. She runs out at the last minute and half-heartedly chases him. That's it.
His hair is unreal. Back to the hair. I was so distracted.
He's got such sad eyes, man.
Yeah.
Does anyone have sadder eyes than Nick Cage?
Ooh, that's a great question. Travolta does some really good sad eyes.
Oh, not like Cage, though, because Cage's eyes are so big. Travolta's eyes are beady.
Cage has a hostage in the trunk. He uses him to have security open the guarded fence. Somehow, he was standing perfectly behind him.
Okay, this is a great move.
This is also tension.
This was almost as cool as when Shame kneels down in front of the diamond dealers and Low Down Dirty Shame and crosses his body with the guns to point it at them.
Yeah, definitely. But this is way more tension-filled because he is nuzzling right up against this dude's neck.
He is hugged up.
And he's got the arms crossed.
Two guns appear over the shoulders, and he guns down two of the guards. The control room, they're just pointing at the screen. Look, he's there. Kong and Ohm are cuddling while detained. That's nice that they at least get to be detained together.
Do you think he tried to bang her at that point? Like, hey, we're probably going to die here anyway.
I hope they at least kissed.
Same note too, bro. I said they jailed them together. Would have definitely tried to hit.
I thought that you were built for prison, Amin, because you could handle solitary confinement and just jack yourself to death.
I love the idea of like, I'm so scared we're going to die. And Amin's just like, yeah, I'm horny too, baby.
Yeah, I'm horny too, baby. Yeah.
All right, there's spotlights searching everywhere for Cage. He shoots them out, distracts a guy with rolling out a bottle. When he emerges after killing the last guy, all I could think of was...
You know what happens down here at night, don't you? We scare the shit out of them because, see, at night they think we all look like ghosts, man. They think we're just ghosts out here glowing in the dark. Woo!
Shootout inside the building. Cage is lying down at one point.
Yeah.
Reason he's surprising everybody in the dark.
He just keeps popping up and killing dudes because it's dark.
Is it a water jug / fine dining China?
I don't know.
Kind of facility? I couldn't understand what was there.
There's so many water jugs. I won't lie. Looking at the water jugs reminded me of This Is the End.
Oh,
where Danny McBride is literally bathing himself in the rationed water.
The room is bathed in red light. Cage is hiding behind a pile of jugs. He pops out, knocks them over, and shoots at them, but doesn't kill either one of them, even though he's a couple feet away. Now he's dodging bullets by crouching. There's water gushing, blood slowly dripping on a plastic curtain. After he kills these two dudes, there's a close-up of his face in the red. Then, the whole world's the city of mirrors. He uses the water as a reflection. Then a funnel. He uses a funnel as a reflection. Then he sees a guy's shadow. Then a slow motion dip around the corner, guns blazing, so many water jugs bursting all over the place. They go down the entire road, just shooting into it back and forth. Finally kills the guy.
He must have shot 20 bullets, right?
His hair is so damn distracting.
And the dying guy points to where Kong is, kill shot, and then he just kicks a jug.
Tai Mi with some henchmen doles out some guns.
A loot crate.
Cage shoots many of them in a hallway right out in the open. And then when Tai Mi hides behind a pillar, Cage runs out of bullets. And by the time Tai Mi looks around again, Cage is gone.
He goes to toss the grenade, and Cage appears out of thin air, catching his arm, and then starts beating his ass, shoves him against the door, arms the grenade, slides it right between Blonde's dick and the door, and it explodes, launching Mr. Blonde backwards, ripping his body apart, dick first. Cage is 2 feet away, no bathtub this time, totally fine.
I do not agree with the physics here.
I didn't agree with the physics until I saw that it blew the dude in half, and then I agreed with them a little bit more.
Also, Kong and are on the right other side of that.
If you're not directly up against this grenade, you're out of range.
I didn't agree with the physics of the pharmacist being able to write that note in English in perfect handwriting.
Kong says he had to tell them about Cage. Cage says to take her to the street. He's cleared the way. He's got one more job.
Cage was surprisingly cool about that. I thought he was going to kill him.
Oh, I mean, he's a changed man.
Oh, that's true.
Surat?
He's very bad.
Surat?
No, that's Takers, I mean.
Surat's trying to flee. Cage kicks out a window. He runs along a ledge, drops onto a pile of trash. Now he's pursuing on foot. The car is driving backwards. Why is it driving backwards? So he can kill the driver by shooting through the windshield. Car comes to a halt. Cage is just sneering. Got the cops showing up in their Toyotas. Cage still aiming the gun, blood slowly dripping. Cops hear Cage's gunshots. Kong already made it outside. Surratt makes his henchman get out of the car. Cage kills him immediately.
Kong does the ultimate. He made it outside and then blends in with the crowd.
He does.
It's amazing. That's how you do it, folks.
Surratt is panicking, sees Cage, nervously reaches for something. But Cage appears once again.
Just right there.
And already has a gun cocked at his head.
He gets in the back seat. Gun cock dangerous.
Turns out Cage took a bullet at some point, and it's when he flinched during the water jug shootout.
Yeah.
Got a bullet stuck in his arm. Flashback to the earblind pharmacist covered in blood running away. Cage looks at himself in the mirror. City of mirrors. Slow motion. Dramatic music.
Sweat like Kevin Garnett.
Dead guy's foot comes off the brake. Car slowly rolls backwards. The gates open automatically. Cops point guns and yell. Cage holds the gun up to his own head.
Won't lie, I thought that laser was going to trip off a bomb or some shit.
So did I. I as well thought that.
Closes his eyes, and the car...
Wait, he's not going to...
is slowly turning and backs into a pile of shit coming to a halt, but somehow still better at driving than Chloe in Left Behind
or Helen Hunt
is the dead man. Then he squeezes the trigger. We see the gunfire, hear the gunshot, blood splatter. Kong is concerned. Slow fade to black.
What the fuck?
Slow motion rotating shot of Kong with his hands in his pockets.
Sitting on a dock.
Fade to black again?
Is he shooting a music video?
That's it? What?
Roll credits.
So then I went and watched the alternate ending. Cage is about to kill himself, as we see. Kong drives up in a cop car.
Where'd he get the cop car from?
He just steals it. It drives up. He blended in real well.
Now he's cool.
Cage shoots Surratt.
Wait, he's not a cop? Wait.
Runs to the car. Kong is driving. He gets shot in the leg as he's running to the car. He gets in. We then have a cop car chase. Cage is not doing well. They drive through a narrow market in an alleyway, wedge the car against this fence. Then Kong pulls Cage out of the car through the front windshield. Cage is acting his ass off with his limp as he walks through. Then all of these people in this poor area surround Cage and Kong. Kong asks for help, says that Cage killed Surratt. Thai Jesus walks up, says Surratt was a very bad man. It's good that he's dead. They then help Cage and Kong escape. Kong tells Cage on that dock of that last shot, now they're on the dock together, tells him that the river goes to the sea. There are many big boats there. He can go anywhere. And he gives Cage his passports. Cage then gives him a note. It's a bank account number to a Swiss bank account. Money in there is a bonus for Kong. Cage shakes his hand. Kong says, "You were a good teacher." Cage says, "You were a good student." There's some tension with these two as they eye fuck each other. Cage gets on the boat, motors off. We see that slow-mo shot of Kong on the dock again, shooting a music video. Roll alternate credits.
That's the only thing they carried over is the shot of him on the dock?
Yes, that's the only thing.
That shot makes so much more sense.
Right.
With the alternate ending that Zach just described.
Right. Otherwise, what's he doing on that dock?
Why did they include it in the regular version? Why didn't they just cut with like the sirens and everyone milling about?
Yeah, agreed.
Trivia.
I can never tell if that bell is an accident or not.
The original film's main character is a ear-blind hitman whose disability makes him a fearless, unflinching gunman. That character has been changed in the remake. Quote, "We'd like to keep him the same, but we understand that from a marketing perspective, Nick needs to have some lines." Not according to Willy's Wonderland. Oxide was quoted as saying in the New York Times, "So what we're going to do is transform his girlfriend instead into a deaf mute. This switch will maintain the drama of communication between the two main characters." That's one way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Known by its working title, Big Hit in Bangkok, and also Time to Kill, it began filming in August 2006.
Now imagine she's Thai.
The movie was in production during the coup d'etat on September 19th, 2006.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Kumite. I was like, whoa.
Coup d'etat.
Coup d'etat. Coup d'etat. Fight to survive.
Nonetheless, filming only stopped for 6 hours, and then afterwards they observed a moment of silence.
Classy.
Nicolas Cage had committed to several pictures after the completion of his work on this film. To accommodate his limited schedule, some sets were recreated and built in different locations so no shooting time would be wasted.
Okay.
Maybe that's your CGI staircase scene, Zach.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The martial art that Nicolas Cage teaches to Shakrit Yamnarm is Wing Chun. The watch, worn by Nicolas Cage's character, and in fact also endorsed by the actor, is a Ventura VTEC Sigma W25 R1. The motorcycle ridden by Nicolas Cage when he clips the pedestrian is the, quote, naked version of the BMW K1200S. And the main villain in this movie, Surat, was portrayed by Naratasai Kaljaruk, Thai drama's director and the executive of Kantana Group, the well-known TV program and film production company. In the 1999 version of Bangkok Dangerous, the main villain is also the executive of the TV program production company.
Let's show them who the horsemen are, guys.
Yeah, we got soul.
Horsemen.
It's narration.
Yeah, I think we got to go back to back, right?
Come on. What else could it be?
There was nothing else.
There's a tiny bit of film noir. That's it.
They had an opportunity to do film noir a couple times that they just seemed to pass on. So, yeah, I think we're going back to back like Tango and Cash.
Him offing himself at the end is a little film noir I didn't expect. It upset me.
It did?
Yeah. A lot of reviews were saying, man, this ending sucks. Like a lot of the user reviews were very mad at the ending.
Wait, were they talking about him killing himself or were they talking about Kong on the dock?
No, I think everyone liked Kong on the dock. I think everyone's like, yeah, man, this video's tight.
Kong on the dock. If you say it 3 times fast, you might end up saying dong on the cock.
Well, you didn't even have to say it fast. You just said it straight up.
You just said it, yeah. Or if you just say it once that way.
He said it.
Breathe in through nose, out the mouth.
Ass on, ass off.
Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex. Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex.
Ass on. Fuck it, ass off. Ass on. Fuck it, ass off.
Michael Biehn Memorial Ass On Award.
Yeah.
And I just want to note that I think he's a placeholder until we do David Caruso again, because then it's going to be an absolute battle for that.
Probably.
It's fuck house.
Dong on the cock.
That wasn't a mean recounting a line from Jade. He was just letting everyone know it's a fuck out.
He wasn't acting.
Guess who's both in Jade? Michael Biehn and David Caruso.
Oh, wow.
Who you guys got for Ass On?
I got Surat. I thought he was terrible.
That's fair. The TV executive?
Yeah, the TV executive. I thought he was awful. He wasn't like intimidating at all. There was nothing about him that seemed evil or nefarious or anything.
I'm going to say he wasn't ass on because he had the scene where he was eating. And if you're eating, you can act. That's the rule.
Right. But Ty Me was so much better than him.
Yeah, he was. Ty Zach Harper was better. But I'm going to go with, and I know what you're thinking.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I'm just saying, fucking Russell Wilson's fiance or wife or whatever, like just the worst acting ever. Is she actually deaf in real life or does she just play with a deaf man?
What?
You couldn't tell?
I can't even, wait, what's her name? Rain? Wait, is her name Fawn? Is Fawn Rain in Thai?
Hold the fuck on. I just realized on his like 5th or 6th date with her where he meets her mom, that's when he learned her name.
Yes.
Her name? Not even when she wrote that note in perfect English did she write her name.
I think I'm going to go with Surat because his name is ridiculous.
His name?
Naratasai Kaljaruk. Ass On.
It's fun to say.
Carl Weathers Memorial Ass Off Award.
You know who it is.
Once again, essentially running unopposed.
No.
Whatever. Win's a win.
No.
You beat the Kings. No one says, oh, well, it was the Kings.
2 nominees, clearly, for me. Kong.
You couldn't figure it out, though. You were confused.
Yeah, you couldn't decide if he had ass off or ass on.
Yeah, you can't win it if you're confused.
Look, his ass off moments were very ass off, okay?
They were fantastic. Yeah, I'm with you. I like Kong.
And then the other one, Ty Zach Harper. Ty Zach Harper acted his ass off.
He was great. I'm going Cage.
I think he's just giving it to him at this point.
He's just taking it.
He's takers, gents.
We've had multiple movies where it's like, well, it'd be nice if they could cast one other actor. Like, remember Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah.
Frank Grillo. Oh, he's kind of an actor. Gave him a run. But no, this one is straight up. He's the only movie star in it from America.
We're going to look up one day and see all these banners under Nick Cage and real think, oh, he must be one of the greatest winners in the history of Cinephobe, when really he's Bob Cousy.
No, he's not Bob Cousy. He's Michael Jordan. No one could challenge him.
He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Michael Jordan.
He's Michael Jordan.
Someday we'll do Grand Isle, and it'll be a heavyweight bout between him and Kelsey Grammer. That'll be his greatest challenge yet.
Spoiler alert, file.
You're good at keeping secrets?
Absolutely.
Because I've got a present for you. Secret present outside by the dumpster.
Is it a baseball mitt?
It fits you like a baseball mitt, like a glove. I hope.
Golden Dumpster nominees.
Now this is a category.
Cage's wig. Kong scamming the white tourists.
You want girls? Boys?
The guy coming out of the shadows like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and just knocking the shit out of Kong off of the motorcycle.
That was a great scene, man.
Swig at that axe.
Cage hopping up on the motorcycle and swan diving into the air, landing on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Cage cutting the dude's hand off with the boat propeller, then taking the gun out of it.
That was
yeah,
great. I've
that.
never seen that shit before.
The note that says, I am happy together with you.
In perfect handwriting.
The CGI shot of the bullet killing President John F. Kennedy.
Oh, that was cool too, yeah.
And Cage hiding behind a pile of clear water jugs, only to awkwardly pop out, knocking them all over loudly.
Wait, did you include the bullets going through the boat into the water?
Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Kind of that whole sequence, you know?
Yeah, I think you just include that whole sequence together.
I'll go first. For me, it's a slam dunk because I am happy together with you.
You and Amin are way more hung up on that note than I was.
Her handwriting is impeccable.
The delivery, she gives it and then just walks away.
She just walks away.
That's a real confidence move, you know? Like, oh, he's going to fucking go nuts for this
that
shit.
Was Steph Curry launching a three and just turning around.
Absolutely. But at the same time, Maze, my pick is related to that. But it's not that. It's what happens immediately after she walks away. This dude shoots two dudes and she doesn't hear a thing.
She has no idea.
I laughed so hard, man. I got great joy out of that. That's my golden dumpster. Zach, what do you got?
I love the boat scene, but I locked it in early. It distracted me the entire movie. It's the hair.
Yeah.
Nick Cage's wig is just too much. It was an overwhelming favorite. It might be a cliche answer for this, but I couldn't help but give it to it. Well, Amin, you picked it, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. I like that.
Phobe or file?
I picked it because I thought we were going too obscure with many of our picks. I thought Bangkok Dangerous was a movie that I remember being heavily marketed when it came out. I didn't see it. I'd never seen it before. I seem to remember the trailer had bits of the boat chase and then one of those Michael Bay shots of Nicolas Cage standing outside and looking around as the camera swirls around him. I thought this was going to be an up-tempo action movie. Even the cover, right, has like explosions and fire and all that stuff around them. And what I got instead was a really slow, boring movie. It took me a while to realize, oh, he's trying to like redeem himself or whatever. I don't know. There was zero tension between him and the pharmacist. There's way more tension between him and Kong.
It's a love story between him and Kong. What if I pitched it to you that way? Now do you like it?
What about the elephant, though? You're leaving the elephant out.
Yeah, the elephant fuck.
Way more tension with the elephant. This movie, as I said at the beginning, Bangkok monotonous. It was just too boring. It's not bad. It's better than the other two Cage movies we've done this month, for sure.
I don't know about that.
But in many ways, it was like technically sound, very beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But just a boring story.
You have been confused by what these movies are supposed to be each time in Cage Month. You didn't know it was a Rapture movie.
Yeah, that's true.
You still don't know what happened in Deadfall.
Don't know what the point of that movie was. And now this one, yeah, it's a phobe for me.
Maze?
It was a little disorienting to come off of Deadfall and just dive so heavily face first into voiceover once again, especially when you found out his name is Joe and he's just telling us everything about everything that's happening in this movie through voiceover.
What a lazy name.
I liked some of the action sequences. I really liked the motorcycle swan dive, boat chase sequence. I was really trying to give this a fair shake.
Wow.
And some of the movie was entertaining to me. And then we get to this absolute dog shit ending.
The doc.
Because that's what it is, I mean. The doc shows up, which gives the illusion that something else is going to happen. If he just died...
Do you think they just forgot to cut it out in the editing process?
I've been there, man. You know, you just accidentally leave something that shouldn't be in there, but he shoots himself. Okay, that's a little confusing. They fade out. They fade back in. Okay, something's going to happen. We're going to find something out. He's going to do literally anything. No, he's not. That's the end. And that just swung me all the way back to a phobe.
Now, what if they had played either It's Been a Long Time Without You, My Friend,
as Cage takes a motorboat off into the distance?
No, they don't even need to do that. Just a shot of Kong on the dock, that sweeping shot, and they play that. Or if they had played
Love Lift Us Up Where We Belong.
No, but that's good. Yeah.
Zach?
So I'd never seen this full movie before.
Really? When it came out in the theater, Zach, you didn't rush? I would have thought this would be one of those ones you were there opening night.
I missed it in the theater. Sadly, I didn't add to that total. Who knows what that could have tipped over to.
Maybe they would have made a buck.
But I have seen 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there over the years on FX. I think that's where it was a lot. It's something where I've always been intrigued by what this movie might be, and yet not intrigued enough to actually just sit down and watch it until we did this podcast. I watched some of this movie very heavily medicated, some of it very in pain, and some of it just right as Goldilocks would watch a movie. And so I was a little confused at times. I was a little spaced at times. I think this movie is a beautiful love story between Nicolas Cage and the city of Bangkok.
City of Mirrors.
He loves the people. He loves the elephants. He loves the market.
They love him, according to Kong.
Yes. They love him, and in the alternate ending you guys didn't watch, we see that love. We see that protection. And so had I not seen the alternate ending, this would have been a toss-up for me, but I like that they kept the doc in. It is just a confusing final shot. It makes me want to watch the movie again and see if I missed something as to why they would leave that shot in there. I like the alternate ending. I like the regular ending, even though it was a shock to me. It hurt me. But the more I think about it, that's art. It made me feel something. I love Nick Cage in this. I'm just completely dumbfounded by his hair. It's a little too much narration, but whatever. It's Nick Cage. I like the way he delivers most of it. It's a file for me.
I can't believe Tony Medley didn't review this one.
That pissed me off. I was angry yesterday when I looked for his review and he didn't do it. Make sure you're giving us your Phober Files, your 5 Horsemen, your ass on, ass off, and your Golden Dumpster at Talk Hoops, at Darth Amin, at Corn Puzzle. Send them in the reviews on Apple Podcasts. Remember, 5,000 by the end of 2022, or we get into a legal battle with Meadowlark.
You get into a legal battle with Meadowlark.
Well, we do. I don't want to speak for us, but we will. What are we doing? We got to vote now?
Yeah. Guess what? First end of the month poll on the Levitard show feed.
Put it on the poll, Billy.
Now, hold on. I got some questions here, okay? I don't think we should say on the poll who made what pick. I think that is skewing it way towards...
We never do.
We don't?
No.
No, we've done it in the past. Hold on.
No.
Hold on, you son of a bitch.
Zach is trying to figure out how to game the system.
You're already trying to figure out how to rig the poll. It's stunning.
No.
I write out in order which of Zach, Amin, and Mayes should pick the final movie of the month, and then I put the movies in the order that they came out.
I don't know if that's true.
Anyways, this is the first poll on the Levitard Show Twitter account, so that's where you're going to go to vote. It should be very interesting. It should be a whole new era in terms of the numbers. Once again, to remind you all, first place in the poll gets to pick the final movie of the month, Nick Cage month. Last place in the poll, third place in the poll, gets to pick next month's theme. And second place gets a big bag of diddly squat.
I thought you said dick. Damn.
Next time we make love,
I get in second place.
introduce me to Jade.
figure out if I want to win.
Trying to figure out how much to spend.
I would never buy votes, but I might try to direct this towards the religious right on Twitter. You know, throw a couple hashtags in there, try to get the Christians involved. Christians love to vote on things.